Record music on trendybeats.com. More music on trendybeats.com.
Sure, we are all excited, as always, to be in today's session, in one of our master classes. If you've attended one of our master classes in the past, give me a yes in the chat. And if this is your first time, type first time in the chat. I want to know whether you're joining us for the first time today. Oh, Solomon, first time. That's nice. Good to have you. Olufunke, first time. We have a lot of first timers, in today's session. Fantastic. That's good. That's good to know. And you'll be enjoying today's session, as always. So, how about old boys, old guys? Do we have anybody who has attended our session before? Because I'm seeing just first timers. Okay, that's fantastic. This is fantastic. So you're going to be enjoying today's session, all right? So it's a very interesting session on how to, walk you through the process of becoming a data analyst. Once again, my name is Mohammed Suleiman. I'm a senior data associate here at Analytics. I'm a data analyst as well as a data scientist with about 5 years of industry experience cutting across several sectors. And this has allowed me to train close to 2,000 participants and even help a good number of them get jobs across the globe, right? I've worked with Alfa Romeo. Alfa Romeo is one of Italy's largest car brands, okay? And I work with them as a data scientist where, I help them to solve one of their most pressing supply chain and inventory management problems. And today, myself and Toyin is an absolutely fantastic professional, okay? We will be walking you through the process of getting started with Excel. We'll be sharing our expertise with you, okay? We'll be helping you get started, with Excel and ultimately walking you through step by step, through the process of becoming a data analyst. Now, if you are ready to become a data analyst, type yes in the chat. If you are ready to become a data analyst, type a yes in the chat. Solomon, fantastic. Firdaus, fantastic. Wow, there are a lot of yeses. Fantastic. Okay, so I'll go ahead and share my screen. So we'll be meeting Toyin, later in the session. Okay, so I'll share my slides now. I'll share my screen. Okay, just give me one moment to do that. Okay, I can see the responses in the chat. Okay, that is absolutely fantastic. Right. Moment to set up my screen. Right, so welcome to today's session. Okay, welcome once again to today's session. So confirm you can see my screen. Okay, fantastic. So welcome to today's session. Yeah, welcome to today's session. We'll be walking you through, how to get started with Excel, just like I mentioned earlier, and ultimately, how you can become a data analyst. I've seen a lot of you, in the chat, you've mentioned that you want to become a data analyst, and I'm sure we all are passionate about, becoming a data analyst. All right. So for those of us who are new, right? So sorry about that. Modestus, your video is turned on. So you may want to turn off your video for now so that we can all, concentrate on the session. Right, so Modestus, you can hear me, please turn off your video. All right, so let's all keep our videos turned off so that we can all concentrate on what we have for you guys today. All right, so it's going to be an absolutely fantastic session, just like I mentioned. So for those of us who are hearing about Analytics for the first time, all right? So Analytics is an edtech firm, okay? And we are passionate about helping Africans as well as the Black community, get into the tech space. Now, if you look at the tech ecosystem on a global scale, you'll find out that, there's just a handful of Black people in the space, okay? And what our goal, our primary goal is getting as many Black people as possible into this space. Okay, we are highly talented people, and we want to, leverage our talent, to getting people into the tech space. All right. And the reason why you'd find just a handful of Black people in the tech space is simply because the entry barrier is so high. Okay. And that's what we stand for. We stand to, reduce or lower the entry barrier into tech, making it easy, for people who want to get into the tech space, to find it easy. And we offer programs, cutting across data analytics, business analysis, data engineering, data science, financial analytics, HR analytics, as well as power platform engineering. Okay. And your facilitators are top-notch professionals whose day-to-day job, are what they will be impacting, on you during the training program. And, they work for the best of the best organizations, highly recognized organizations, across the globe, from Apple to Microsoft to Alpha Romeo, like I mentioned earlier during my introduction. Okay. Now, we have absolutely fantastic founders. So again, just so we concentrate, please, you have your video turned on, you can turn it off. Okay, you can turn it off. All right, thank you for that. So now we have absolutely fantastic founders. We have Adeza Suleiman, the founder of Tenalytics, has close to a decade of experience, in the world of data. Okay, so he works as a data analytics expert. He has worked as a data analytics expert, and a business, business intelligence, experts in Sahara groups. He has worked with FITC, and he has worked, across several sectors. Okay, 5, all right, from the automobile sector to professional services to sports. Mention them. Okay, we have another absolutely fantastic, person in Efemena Igbo. He's the co-founder of Tenalytics. Okay, he works as.
There's no bread, please. Already we soon bring bread.
Please, if your mic is turned on, please turn it off. All right. Thank you. So, Modestus, I can see your video is still on. Please try turning it off. All right. Thank you very much. So now, as I was saying, we have Efemena April, a fantastic, professional in the space. All right. He's the co-founder of Tenalytics. He functions as a data analyst, a data scientist, and even, a data engineer. He has worked with as a business intelligence developer with DPD in Ireland. Okay, he has also worked as the global business systems analyst with Teleflex. Okay, and he currently is the data support lead, at Post Office in the UK. All right, and you can connect with them. You get the slides at the end of today's session, and you'll be able to, connect with them. All right, you can look at their social media handles and, do well to connect with them. Now, like I said, we are passionate about helping people, make that switch, okay, from where they are, regardless of their experience, whether, from absolutely no experience in the data space or in the tech space whatsoever, to becoming a recognized tech talent, across the globe. All right. And we've been able to, achieve this so far. Okay. In 2022 alone, we've been able to help over 500 people, make that switch right from the class to landing their first tech job. Okay, and we help people across several continents, across several zones, Africa to the UK to US to Canada, mention them to Middle East, all right, and so on and so forth. Okay, and some of our participants now work with the best of the best organizations across the globe, from Cognizant to Amazon to Microsoft to Total. The list goes on and on. All right. Now, our good work has been featured across several media. Okay, from helping people land tech jobs across the globe. All right. You can see Business Day, Nairametrics, Punch, all reiterating the fact that here at Analytics, we are passionate about helping Africans, get into the world of tech. Okay. Last year, we held a data hackathon where about 5 participants went home with a share of the cash prize. Okay. And, we held another data hackathon early this year where we had top-notch judges. Okay, you can see Michelle Conway. Michelle Conway is a data scientist, the lead data scientist with Lloyd's Banking Group. Okay, you have Sadiq. We had Sadiq Akintola. Sadiq Akintola, is the smart analytics customer engineer with Google. Sebastian Obeta, is the data scientist and works as an AI researcher in the UK. Okay, and we had Olamide Jola, the head of data and analytics at Wema Bank, Nigeria. And these were the quality of judges we had, in that particular data hackathon, giving feedback to participants, who presented their findings in that particular hackathon. Okay, we also gave scholarships to 300 women, encouraging them, and helping them get into the tech space, as we all know that our women folks are, kind of underrepresented in the world of tech. All right. Now, today we are going to be doing something very interesting, like I mentioned. All right. We'll be looking at Excel. We'll have Toyin showing us, how to get started with Excel, Microsoft Excel. Now, I want to see in the chat, if you've used Excel before, Microsoft Excel before, type a yes in the chat. You've used Microsoft Excel before, type a yes in the chat. And I want us to take note of this question that I asked, okay? Type a yes in the chat. Type a yes in the chat. Type a yes in the chat. Fantastic. Right, fantastic. Now, I want you to take note of, this question that I've asked. And towards the end of the session, I would ask again, okay, have you learned something? Okay, I would ask again, all right, have you learned something? Now, we have a lot of people, who would say, oh, I know how to use Excel. I know how to use Excel. But today, we'll be seeing whether, that is the case, all right, or not. Okay, so we'll be looking at, Excel. Again, like I mentioned, Toyin will come up, and introduce us, to Excel. And you'll be looking at, how to leverage Excel in your day-to-day, how, as a data analyst, you actually leverage the power of Excel, in your daily activities as a data analyst. All right. I would also be talking about the upcoming cohort in the coming up on the 2nd of September. Okay, and also the special offer we have in store for you guys. Okay, interesting offers, on ground. All right, and I'll be talking about the Analytics Growth Internship Program as well. Okay, so I'll be inviting Toyin, okay, an absolutely fantastic professional. I've worked with Toyin, on several projects, and I can tell you for free that Toyin is an amazing professional, and we are going to be seeing that, just in a couple of minutes. So Toyin, are you? Can you hear me, Toyin?
Yes, I can. Can
All
everyone
right,
hear me?
fantastic.
Mohammed, can you hear me?
Yeah, it's good to see you, Toyin.
Same here. Thank you so much, Mohammed. So
Yeah, my
think,
pleasure.
yeah, I'll be bringing up my screen now.
All right, so just give me a moment to share mine.
All right, so while we're doing that, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're joining us from. I hope everyone is doing fine today. So I'm waiting for your response. Are we all doing fine today? And are we excited?
We're doing good. We're fine. Doing
great. So please, you can just respond in the chat box. I want to see your responses in the chat box. So yeah. All right. Okay, so one more thing. I want to know where you're joining us from. Where are you joining us from? Oh, Damilola, I love you too. Where are you joining us from? Great, great. Oh, Sudan, Ogun State, Nigeria, United Kingdom, Kenya. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good to see people joining us from different parts of the world. So today, I know that some of us already are familiar with Excel, like you already said. And let's see how much of Excel you knew before now, okay? So today, majorly, we are going to be exploring how to leveraging the power of Excel text manipulation in your day-to-day activity as a data analyst, okay? So we're looking at how you can leverage Excel text manipulation in your day-to-day activity as a data analyst. And I trust that, okay, today I believe it's going to be very interesting because I have a wonderful challenge for us and we're all going to be doing this together, all right? So I'm ready. Let me see your yes in the comment section. So let's go. Tony, I'm ready. I'm ready for this challenge. Let me see your yes in the comments. Great. Thank you so much, everyone. All right. So I think before I go on to the challenge, it's just important that you meet me and you get to know who is going to be training you today or who is going to be showing you Excel stuff today. So yes, my name is Oluwatoyin Ademarati and I'm the data analytics lead at 10 Analytics. Okay, so I have close to a decade experience in data analysis, data science, and machine learning, and I've worked with numerous countries across the globe. Okay, so over time, I've trained more than 5,000 participants, and I have experience working in different industries like banking, investment tech, ed tech, and of course, I am an advocate for women in tech. Like Mohammed rightly said, women are like not represented well enough in the tech space. So I take it upon myself to train, to mentor women that are trying to get into the field of tech, especially in data science or in data analytics. So yes, I believe that at this point, you should even be more excited to see what I have for you today. All right, so, so let's go to the next agenda that we have, and which is the challenge that you have, all right? The challenge that you are here for. All right, so what's the challenge? Grace Automobile is constantly looking for ways to make work easier and faster for their staff. So now, for those of us that said we already know Excel, you are the Excel experts here, and you have been asked to extract the following information to enrich their current data and even make data extraction seamless for staff of the company, okay? So before I go into the questions or what you have to do, I want us to see the data set that we'll be working with. And so you have part number, and part number is used to identify a vehicle part. It consists of 3 elements, which is the prefix, the base, and the suffix, right? So you can see part number here. All right, so if you are following, please let me see. All right, so if you are following, please let me see your yes in the comments. All right, great. Okay, so now you can see that we have part number, and part number consists of what? The prefix, the base, and the suffix, right? Now, the prefix is always 4 digits, which is the first 4 digits in the part number. Now, the base is 7 digits, as you can see here, C822026. It's in the middle. That is the base. Now, the suffix is the last figures or characters that you have, which is KMIX. That's the last part. So these are the things that make up part number. Now, the other thing is under description, you can see here that we have the RHS front seat. What this means is left, for example, RHS is right-hand side front seat. Then also in the third row, you can see front LHS seats, ASY. What it means here is that this seat is for the left-hand side of a car, all right? Now, we also have the drive, which indicates the part that is used, or the which indicates whether the part is used either on the left-hand side or left-hand drive, or for a right-hand drive vehicle. So you can see that P stands for right-hand drive vehicle, while Q stands for left-hand drive vehicles. I don't know if you all get everything about the data set. So I understand the data set, please. I understand what we have. Yes, we have the data. Don't worry, you have the data. All right, so I understand what is here so far. Okay, so again, I'll go over it. We have the part number, we have the description, and then we have the part number, we have the description, and then we have the drive. So like I said earlier, I said part number is the identifier or the or the number that is used to identify a particular vehicle part. All right, so in your own words, can you describe part number in the chat box? What is part number in this case? So I want to see your comments in the chat box. In your own words, what is part number? Part number. So put your comments in the chat box. What is part number? All right, so is used to identify all vehicle parts, any vehicle parts at all. All right, so it's on the screen. It's like literally on the, what is it called? Great, so I can see identifier. I think we're mixing it up, right? So let's come back. Now, the first thing is we have part number. This data set identifies a vehicle part, okay? So this part number identifies a particular vehicle part. So you can say it's the unique identifier for a vehicle part. So I hope we all got that now. Is the identifier for a vehicle part, all right? Now, this particular part number has 3 parts, which you can see here. The first part, which is for the first row now, so everyone please pay attention to the first row, is 8L47. That is the first part, which is the prefix. All right, that is the first part, which is the prefix. Now, the next part, which is C822026, is the second part, which is the base. Okay, that is the base. Now, the third part, which is the suffix, is where you have KMIX. And you can see that these 3 parts of the part number is separated with an hyphen. All right, so that is for part number. Okay, so now I get what part number is. Let me see your yes in the comments. I understand what part number is. Let me see your yes in the comments. All right, great, 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 great. I love that. Yes, great, nice. All right, so the next thing now is description, right? Description of this part, okay? So basically, this just describes the part of the vehicle that you're talking about for each row. So for example, this part number 8L47, C822026KMIX is a lot of work calling these things, okay? Which is on the first row. Now, this particular part number is RHS front seat. What does this mean? RHS meaning that it is right-hand side front seat. Okay, right hand side front seat. So anywhere you see RHS, it means that that part is for the right hand side of the vehicle. But wherever you see LHS, it means that that part is for the left hand side of the vehicle. Do we all get the description now? What RHS is and what LHS is? Does it make sense to us? I want to see your yes. If it does, let me see your yes. All right, great, 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 great. Okay, so the next thing is the drive. The next thing is the drive. And so where you have P, what it means is that this part is used with a left-hand drive vehicle, right? Where you have, sorry, P for right-hand drive vehicle. Wherever you have P, wherever you have P is for what? The right-hand drive vehicle. Now, wherever you have Q is for what? The left-hand drive vehicle. So that's what it does mean. So P for right-hand drive vehicle, while Q is for left-hand drive vehicle. So do we understand what drive is now? Drive, do we get drive now? What P and Q means? So if you get it, please let me see your comments. Let me see your comments. Let me see your yes in the chat box, okay? Let me see your yes in the chat box. All right, great. Okay, so let's go back to what is it called? Let's now go back to the question that we have, right? The question that we're trying to answer with the data set. So the first thing is that you have to create a formula to extract prefix only from the part number. That's the first thing. The second thing is that you have to create a formula to extract base only from the part number. And then the third is you have to create a formula to extract surface only from the part number. Finally, base section, or the fourth thing is base section of a part number can vary between 6 and 8 digits and not always 7 digits. So even though the above part number all contains 7 digits, in a new column, create a new formula to extract base irrespective of the number of digits. Then the last thing is that you are going to extract the vehicle seat part numbers description, whether it is LHS or RHS. And so I know that you might not be able to figure out what all of this is. So we're going to look at the data set shortly, right? You're going to look at the data set, and I will share the link to the data set in the chat box so that everyone can go ahead and download it. All right. So here I'm just going to take the link and post it. All right. So see, then what should be? All right. So please go ahead and download the data. It's a very small data that we can all work with. All right, go ahead and download the data. Go ahead and download the data. All right, so go ahead and download the data. All right, so great. Download the data, download the data, download the data. Okay. All right, so please download the data. I'm going to give you time. I'm going to give you about 2 minutes to download the data. Quickly. Mohammed said the food has been served hot. Yes, we are all doing this together. And I think this is really going to be interesting for a lot of us at some point, because you would really have to now bring in your logical reasoning. So much more than knowing Excel, knowing some functions in Excel, you would have to put to play your deep thinking ability as a data analyst. So let's see how many true and genuine data analysts that we have on the call today. All right, so once you're done downloading the data, right, I want you to just say done in the chat box. I can already see Michael and Adeyinka and they said they are done. Yeah, Joshua is done, Blessing is done. Great. So once you're done, open it in Excel. Open it in Excel. Open it in Excel. All right, open it in Excel. Okay, so someone is saying that there's no button to download. Just give me a moment to show you. All right, so under file here, click on download and download as Excel file. So it's that straightforward. So under file here, once you open the data, okay, under file here in the file tab, go to download and then download as Microsoft Excel. All right, so I believe that we're good now. Everybody should be able to download the data sets. Okay. All right, so I'm waiting for more done, more people that are done. Oh, I'm done. Oh, send the link again. I'm sending the link again. I've sent the link again. Oh, for those that are using smartphones, so sorry, you might not be able to work with us, okay? You might not be able to work with us because this is practical, this is hands-on, and you need your laptop to open Excel. All right, so what I would advise is that the recording will be made available to you at the end of the session. So you can go ahead to YouTube where the recording has been uploaded, and then you can watch again and follow us as we're doing it. And also the slides that we're using for today's session will be shared with you as well. So you don't have anything to worry about. In your free time, you can just get a laptop and work with it, okay? So a lot of people are still asking link, please. So I'm sending link, please. So go ahead and download the data sets. Go ahead and download the data sets. All right. Okay, Felix, nice. All right, so yeah. So I think now let's go ahead to the main instruction. The main instruction of today. So the instruction is that while I know that some of you know different functions in Excel, you know count if, you know count A, you know average, you know sum, you know this, you know that. The instruction is that you can only use left, right, mid, search, find, learn, and trim for this task. All right, you can only use the function left, right, mid, okay, search, find, trim, and learn for this task, right? That is the only function, or those are the only functions that you can use. Those are the only functions that you can use. So let's see, and that's why I said that it will require your deep thinking ability, your ability to think deeply, okay? So you can only use left, right, mid, search, learn, find, and trim. Anything other than this, you cannot use, okay? Anything aside this, you cannot use. All right. So some people are still asking for the link to the data set. I've sent it again, so you can go ahead and download. So of course, I understand that some of us are new to Excel. You don't have the knowledge of Excel. You don't have prior knowledge of Excel, all right? So we want to learn what left is used for, right is used for, mid is used for, search, learn, find, and trim. We want to learn about those functions, all right? So in the slides that we have, I already put in the function description and their definition. But of course, much more than knowing the definition and everything, I want you to see firsthand how I will use it, okay? How I will use it. But before I go ahead, I know that some of us are familiar with these functions: left, right, mid, search, learn, find, trim. So I want to know, which one of them have you used before? Which one of them have you used before? Which one of them are you familiar with? Which one of them have you used before? Hey, Adeyinka said none. Okay. Trim, Ogechi said trim, none. All right. So I'm seeing people, so like I said, it would have been funny if I had assumed that all of us had like prior knowledge of Excel. Okay, Trim, Amarachi said none. Great. All right. So you are going to learn how to use the 7 today. All right. I'll be showing you an example where I'll be using the 7 of them today. And then you're going to see what I'm able to do with those 7. Then you now, having learned how to use it, you are now going to transfer your knowledge to the challenge. All right. So is everyone excited about this challenge? Are you excited? I'm excited about the challenge that we have today. Let me see your yes in the comments. Great, great. All right, great, 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 great. I can see a lot of excited people. So you guys can see that from the beginning of this session, I've been smiling because it's really exciting and I can tell you for sure. All right, so yeah. Olusegun said I should bring it on. All right, it's fine. Let's go there. Okay, so who can remind me what is the name of our facilitator, the person that is talking now, the person that is teaching this particular concept? What is her name? What is her name? So yeah, okay, so I can see Toyin. No, our first name and our last name. Great, Fola, you got it. Oluwatoyin Adema. Okay, someone said professor. Great, that's nice. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so Oluwatoyin Ademarati. So I can see it's misspelled. Is this how you people will be? No. Just the first name and the last name. Oluwatoyin Ademarati. So it's not Ademoroti, it's not Ademarati, it's not that. Okay, so I'm going to dash us my name for free today to use as example. Are we happy about that? So I'm going to give us my name for free to use as example in today's class, okay? So let us go and look at Excel. And the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to create a column for my name. And you are going to see the things that I'm going to do or extract from my name, all right? So the first thing is that I'm going to look at my name. So I'm writing my name here now and say Oluwatoyin Ademarati, right? Great. All right. So first function we're going to look at is the left function. The first function we're going to look at is the left function. So which function are we looking at now? Right now, we want to start with the left function. Left. So please write in the comments. I want to see your comments. Left. Okay. So I want to know that we're all on the same page. Left. Oh, all right. So the left function. Great. Yes. So let's say it enough so that nobody is saying, oh, I didn't get which function that we're using now. All right. Left. Thank you so much. Okay. So here we're going to see how the left works. All right. So the left function is used to extract the first digits or the first characters from the left. Okay. So counting from the left, you want to extract the first characters. So now who can tell me the first character from the left in my name, Oluwatoyin Ademarati? Who can tell me? Oh, thank you. Oh. Now, let's assume you have a large data set, right? You are not going to be looking from the beginning to the end to extract that O. So you'll not be saying, okay, so let's say you have another name here, you have another name. It's not efficient for you to be doing it with your own eyes. Okay, so an efficient data analyst will use a function. All right, so we are going to use left function now. And in Excel, how do you use a function? You start with the equal to sign, like I just did. So let me increase this. So you start with the equal to sign, like I just did, all right? And then you put in the function, which is what? Left. You start typing the function left. All right, so please, can everyone still hear me? Can everyone still hear me, please?
Yes, we can do it.
All right, thank you so much. All right, great. All right, great. Okay, so now to use any function in Excel, To use any function in Excel, right? The first thing you want to do is write the equal to sign to create any function or any formula. All right, so you write the equal to sign, then followed by the name of the function. Then the next thing is you open a bracket, all right? Open a bracket, and then you can see some arguments here. One is saying text, and then the second one is saying number of characters. But remember that what we said is we just want to extract the first letter or the first character in Oluwatoyin Ademarati, which is O. And you want to use Excel to do that. So you're doing equal to left, and then you are extracting from this name, okay? And this name is on what? Cell A2, okay? So you don't need to write that A2. All you need to do is click on that Oluwatoyin Ademarati. Just click on it, and you see that you have what? A2, all right? Then you close the bracket and then enter. So what do we have? O. Does it make sense to everyone? So I didn't know about left before, and now I understand left. Let me see your yes in the comments. I didn't know about yes before, and now I understand left. And it makes sense to me now. Let me see your yes. Okay, it still does not make sense. I want to see no. It still does not make sense. So it still does not make sense. No. All right. Some people are saying it still does not make sense. Okay. Okay, so since it still does not make sense, like I said, the reason why functions are very important in Excel is that when you have a big data set, for example, Excel can allow you to enter over 1 million rows, okay? Now, you have a big data set, okay? And what you want to do is you want to now extract the first name from all the 1 million names that you have, the first letter from all the 1 million names that you have. You're not going to come here and say, okay, O, then the next one you say P, then you start typing R, you start typing. Imagine that you are doing this for 1 million. It's a lot of work. So you don't want to do that, okay? What you want to use is a function that makes it easy for you. All right. So now we are saying that we want to extract O, which is the first character from Oluwatoyin Ademarati. And to do that, we are using the left function. And I said to use any function in Excel, you start with the equal to sign, okay? Then you write left, which is the function that you're using, open a bracket, and then you can see the syntax for that. Here, you can see that you are supposed to put a text, okay? So instead of writing that text, okay, you are going to click on the cell. You are going to click on the cell where that text is. So you click on it, and then you have the cell name, which is A2. Then you close the bracket and then enter. So you can see that you have what? O there. All right. So I'm sure that we have all learned something new. The next one that we're going to look at is the right function. All right, so I can see someone asking that what is left be used for? That's your own research to do, because we are not using it in today's class, all right? But if there is time before the end of the class, we'll look into that and answer your questions. But right now, let's look at what we are going to use to achieve the goal that is before us, okay? So the next thing is the left function. Now, the right function. But before I go to the right function, I want us to see, let's say that I want to extract the first 4 characters from Oluwatoyin Ademarati, okay? I want to extract the first 4 in the next column now, or in the next row down here. I want to extract the first 4. And so looking at this name, what is going to be the first 4 characters? Anybody? I want your comments. I want you to write it out in the comment section. Great. The first 4 is going to be OLUW. Now, to use the left function, what do you do? Equal to left. Remember that I said that you always start with left, okay? Equal to left. You open a bracket, pick the cell that you want to extract from, then put a comma and then you have number of characters. So this number of characters is optional, but by default, it will return only the first left character. And that's why you add O in the first place, where you did not specify a number of characters. But in this case now, you want to get 4 characters, okay? So you are going to do what? You are going to write 4 and then close the brackets, okay? So we have equal to left A2, comma 4, all right? So now we have what? OLUW. Isn't that wonderful? Yeah, great. All right. So now let's move on to the next function, which is going to be the right function. Okay, so the right function. Okay, so now that you know that the left function is used to extract characters from the left, what about the right function? What do you think it will be used for? Let me see in your comments, right? What do you think the right function will be used for? We have seen what the left function is used for. Great. Someone said characters from the right. So, you guys are fast thinkers, okay? Anything? Yeah, characters from the right, characters from the right. I'm waiting for more responses. Characters from the right. All right, great. So yes, it's just the opposite of left, like, you know, from the left, and then right from the right. All right. So now, in this case, I want to extract. So what is the first character from the right in my name now? Oluwatoyin Ademarati. What is the first character from the right? First character, counting from the right. First from the right. In the full name, I can still see some people saying A. In the full name, not in the first name. So I have my first name, I have my last name here. So what is all right? So the first, only one, no, first, the first, only one. I didn't say first 4 from the right. The first, I'm intentionally not using the word last, okay? I'm intentionally not using the word last. But basically, just the same way left is used to extract the first characters, right is used to extract the last characters. That is just what it means. So in case you don't understand the difference between left and right, that's just it. Left is the first, while right is the last, okay? So now I want to extract I, like you all rightly said, because the last character of my name, my full name, is I, all right? So equal to, right, all right? So I said you first start with equal to, then you write the function, which is right, open the bracket, and then select the cell that you'll be using, and then close the brackets, enter. So what do we have? I now. All right, is it making sense? If it's making sense, let me see yes. If it's making sense, let me see yes. Okay, great, great. So now I want to extract the last 4 characters from my name. The last 4 characters from my name. Write the formula for me and let me see in the comments. Last 4 characters. Write the formula and let me see it in the comments. Write the formula and let me see it in the comments. So I want to extract the last 4 characters. So now you're not giving me the characters. I want to see the formula. Oh, great. We have a lot of gurus here, yeah. Awesome. Yes, I think a lot of us are correct, okay? A lot of us are correct. So we are going to use the equal to right, open a bracket, select the cell, right? Then comma 4, because we are extracting the right 4 characters. All right, so I get this, Toyin. Let me see your yes in the chat box. I get this, and this is really interesting. Let me see your yes. All right, great. We're going to learn more. You guys are just starting. All right, so 2 down and 5 more functions to go. We have looked at the left, we have looked at the right. And so next, we are going to look at, let's see the next function. We're going to look at the mid function. The mid function, all right? So the mid function is used to extract characters in the middle of a text, all right? Characters in the middle of a text, a particular number of characters, you want to extract it from the middle of a text, whether from, you can even start from the front or from the back, all right? So you want to extract particular number of characters from the middle of a text. And let's see how to use this mid function. To use the mid function, you start with the equal to sign, and then you start typing that mid. You write the mid, you open a bracket. Now, the first thing it's going to ask you is that text, right? Then the start number and the number of characters, all right? You have the text, you have the start number and the number of characters. So guys, my name is Oluwatoyin Ademarati, okay? My name is Oluwatoyin Ademarati, but you can simply call me Toyin, okay? Now, I want to extract Toyin from this set of characters that I have. From my full name, I want to extract just Toyin, okay? Is it making sense what we want to achieve now? So I want to bring out just Toyin. What I have is Oluwatoyin Ademarati, but I want to bring out just Toyin. Do we understand the goal now? The goal is that I want to extract just Toyin. All right. I understand the goal right now. Let me see your yes in the comment section. So I want to extract only Toyin from the entire name, from the first name and the last name. Great. All right. So I have equal to mid. So I am going to use the mid function because I want to extract something from the middle of the set of characters that I have. All right. So I'm having equal to mid function. And the first syntax that I'm going to put is the text, which is the name. So I'm going to click on that, which is what? The cell A2, all right? Next thing I'm going to enter is that you can see the start norm. From which position am I going to start picking from, all right? From which position am I going to start picking from? So you can see that the first character of the word Toyin is in the 6th position, which is OLUWAT, which is number 6, all right? So I'm going to start extracting from number 6. So I have 6 there. The next thing is number of characters. How many characters do I want to extract? So Toyin has 5 characters, which is TOYIN. That is 5. For those of us that are not Nigerians, okay, I'm helping you. I know some of us might not be able to spell the word Toyin. So it's TOYIN, and that's 5 characters, okay? So now we're going to put 5 because we're looking for 5 characters, and then you close the brackets, okay? Those are all the arguments that you need. The first one is the text that you want to extract from, which is from cell A2. The second one is the position of the first character. So in this case now, what's the first character of the word that we want to extract is T, right? And T is on position 6 in this situation or in this text, right? So I'm going to have 6, and then I want to extract 5 characters because the name Toyin contains 5 characters. And then when I enter, what do I have? I have Toyin. It makes sense to me. It makes a lot of sense to me. Let me see your yes. It does not make sense to me. Let me see your no. It makes sense. Yes. All right. It does not make sense. Let me see your no. All right. Great. 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 Okay. All right. So basically, I'll just briefly go by it, right? I said the mid function is used to extract something inside a text. And like I said, our goal was to extract my preferred name, which is Toyin, or you can just call me Toyin, right? So I said we're going to extract that from the text, and we're going to use the mid function. So basically, the first thing you put in the mid function is the text, which is the entire name, and then the start number, which is the position of the first character from the word T, or from the word Toyin, which is T, and is on position 6. Great, great. I can see my namesake in the chat here. All right, so and the name Tony has 5 characters, and so I've been able to extract 5 of them. All right. So if you still do not understand, you can go over the recording and then you can try it later on. Okay. So the next thing that we're going to look at, like we said, is the search and the find. The search. Please, if your mic is unmuted, kindly mute it. The feedback is, is serious. All right, so we have the find and we have the search. So, but first of all, I want to look at the search. The search. All right, so we're looking at the search. Now, the search is used to find the position of a character or a set of characters in a text, right? The position of a character or a set of characters in a given text or in a given set of strings. So based on what I said now, I said that the search is used to extract the position of a character or a set of characters in a string. All right. So now, for example, when we're doing mid, so if you look at mid, we had to look for what? The start number. And the start number was 6, right? And this 6, how did we get it? We went to count the position of T in the name Oluwatoyin Ademarati. So we had to start counting 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But let's assume that you have a large data set and you need to start finding the position of T in all those data sets. You don't want to go and be counting from beginning to end, like 1 million rows. How long do you want to sleep here? Do you want to sleep here? So you don't want to do that. You can actually now search for yourself the position. So now we all know now that the position of T in that name, the first T in that name is what? Is 6. But can we use the search function to find it? Yes. And how do we go about that? The first thing you do is write the equal to sign, okay? Write the equal to sign. Now, you start writing your search function. Then you open the brackets. And then what text do you want to find? Remember that we want to find T, okay? So you open double quotes and then write the T. So small letter T, and then close it. That's the first thing. We want to find T. So you can see the syntax here. In Excel, actually, Excel makes work easy for you because for every function that you're going to use, you will see the syntax. So it's telling you now, find text. What text are you finding? The next one is within text, right? And meaning, within what text do you want to find? And before you put in another syntax or another argument, always separate them with comma, all right? So the first thing is you're putting the find text, which is T. The next thing is within text, right? And within what text? We are looking at within the name Oluwatoyin Ademarati. So all you need to do is click on that name, and then you go back to your formula. You see that A2 has been placed there, then comma. Now, start number, all right? So from where do you want to start your search? We don't mind starting from anywhere, so it is optional. Since you don't mind starting, by default, it is 1, okay? But if you want to start from the middle, you can put your start num and say 5, 6, 7, depending on what you want to search or depending on where you want to start searching for. So in this case, we want to start searching from the beginning, which is 1 by default in your start num. So you just close the brackets. All right, and then when you do enter, you can see that we have that 6 now, okay? We have 6 now. All right. So I got this, Tony, I got this. Okay, so before we even go, let's move away from this yes and no session that we've been doing. So in your own words, define the search function. In your own words, define the search function. Yes, we have 2 T's. I will explain that shortly. Yeah. I will explain that shortly. Someone said they are lost. All right. So in your own words, I want to see those that got it first off. Define the search function. All right, position. I like this person, Fidaus. Fidaus said that it's used to find the position of a character. Position number, important. Position. Yes, locate the position. Great, position. I like the word. Yeah, thank you. So it is used to locate the position of a number or of a text in a set of string or in a set of text or a set of characters like you have, all right? So position. And we have established that if you want to find the position of T, for example, in this case, the position of T, the first T that you can see here is what? Is on position 6. But I had to come and count, and it's not efficient. I don't need to always count, right? I can use the search function, and which is what we did, all right? So we have the search function equal to search. The first thing that you put there is find text, okay? So I'm going over this, let's all pay attention. The first thing is find text, meaning what text do you want to find? And now, the text that I want to find its position is the letter T. Then, in which text, within which text do you want to find this letter T? And it is within my name, which is Oluwatoyin Ademarati, that I've already written down here. And so we have A2 when I selected it. Now, and that is the search function for you. So a lot of people are asking, but we have 2 T's, we have 2 T's, we have 2 T's. Remember that I said that there is another syntax that is optional. So by default, what it will return is the first T. The search function will return the first T, all right? The search function will return the first T by default. But if you want to extract the second T, right? Now that you know that the first T is on position 6, okay? So your start norm is going to be 7. Do you get it now? The first T is on position 6, right? So your start norm is going to be 7, and you are trying to now extract the position of the second T. So when you enter it now, you have what? 19. Does it make sense? Like, is it interesting to you? It's interesting to me. Oh, look at, yes, see, that's it. Data analytics is logical, deep thinking. Like emphasis on the combination of logical and deep. Yes, yes. So like I said, I have found the position of the first T, right? And which is 6, okay? So what it means is that if I want to find the second one, because I already know the position of the first one, which is 6 from the first formula that I wrote, now that means that the second one is going to be after the first one, which means you are starting from 7, all right? So you are not going to add this extra syntax, which is start norm. It means that you are going to start searching from 7, which is what? O, all right? You're going to start searching from 7, which is O, right? So when you put that 7 and then you enter, it will no longer give you the first T, it will give you the second T. Okay, great. Then we have another one. We have another function, which is the find function, all right? The find function. Okay, so the find, amazingly, does the same thing as the search, all right? The find does the same thing as the search, but there is a slight difference. There's a slight difference, and I'm going to show us. There's just a little bit of difference, and I'm going to show us. But let us use it as well. Let's use it to find T, the same way we use search to find T, so that you can see that it's the same thing, okay? So again, you're going to use, like I said, search is for finding position, and find as well is for finding position, but with a little bit of difference, all right? So we're going to use equal to find now to find the position of T, the first T in Oluwatoyin Ademarati. You guys would have heard a lot. I hope you guys not be sleeping and dreaming of my name when you go back to bed. It's fine. I'm a nice person, so you don't I'll be treating you well. All right, so now we have equal to find. What character are we finding? Anyone, what character are we finding? What character are we finding now? T again. Great, thank you. So we're going to now put in quotes. Please always make sure that you put your text, any text that you're writing inside the formula in Excel, make sure that you put it in double quotes. Any text at all that you are putting within formula in your Excel, always make sure that you put it in double quotes, okay? So we're looking for T, but small letter T now, of course. Then within text, so the syntax, like I said, is the same as search, and it does the same thing as search, but with a little bit of difference that I'm going to show you very soon. All right. So within text, and within what text, we're looking for A2. All right. Then comma, what is the start norm? Like I said, we're looking for the first one, so we don't necessarily need to put start norm. And once I enter, I have like what? Position 6. But what if I am looking for the second one? Remember that the first one is on position 6. So the next start norm that I'm going to put is going to be 7. All right. Start norm now is going to be 7, which means that I want you to skip position 1, which is 6, the first position of T, skip it and go to the next position of T and give me the position number. All right. Then when you enter, you have what? 19, just like in the search. So you can basically see now that the search and the find do the same thing. They do the same thing. However, the find has a bit of touch. All right. So the find now is case sensitive. The find is case sensitive. So when I come here inside my find and put capital letter T, because there is no capital letter T in my name, right? It is going to return a value error. So you can see what happens. So find is case sensitive, but for search, if I put capital letter here, it's still going to give me a result. So I just changed this search to capital letter T, but it still gives me a result. But find is case sensitive. So what it means is that if you are trying to find the position of a, what is it called, of a text, and you are concerned about the casing, right? You want to use find instead of search. Does it make sense to you now? So always remember that find is case sensitive, and small letter T is not the same as capital letter T. So in your find, when you put small letter T where you're supposed to put capital letter T, it's going to return an error. And when you put small letter T instead of capital letter T, it's going to return an error. So isn't this amazing? How we can also now look at, what is it called? How we can also now look at capital letter and small letters and look at case sensitive. Yeah, casing. Yeah, great. So let me see in your comments. I'm enjoying this. I didn't know Excel could do this much. I am enjoying it. Let me see your comments. Oh, I'm enjoying this, and I didn't know Excel could do this much. Let me see your comments. Great. All right. Okay, so we have 2 more functions to go. And then 2 more functions to go, and then we will now go to the exercise. The first one is learn, and the second one is trim. All right, so let's look at learn. So basically, your learn is to find the length of a set of characters or a string. So your learn is to find the length, that is the number of characters inside that string or inside that text. So in this case now, who can tell me the number of characters in Oluwatoyin Ademarati? The number of characters inside Oluwatoyin Ademarati. All right, so you may want to include the space as well. You may want to count the space that is here as well, because that is what your learn will do. All right, so I can see a lot of 2021. Our formulas will never lie. So if you are saying 20 and Excel count, Excel learn does not give us 20, that means you are wrong. If you say 21 and learn does not give us that, that means you are wrong, because it has been proven over and over and over and over and over that these functions work accurately. All right, so let's see what Excel is going to give us. I can see some math gurus saying 20, 19, 21. But let's see, what is Excel going to give us? All right, so let's come back here. Let's all pay attention and let's look at this. So you're going to start with the equal to, like I always say. Then you now write the len, open a bracket, and what text do you want to count? You want to count this, all right? You select it, and then when you select it, you close your bracket and then enter. So what do we have here? 20. So if you said 20 and you're excited that you are correct, let me see your yay in the comment section. All right, yay. So it's 20. So for everyone that said 20, you are correct. For those that said 21, 22, 19, we need to take... Yes, it also counts the space. Yes, it also counts in space, the space. So please, for those that said 19, 20, 21, we have, I know what I will do to you guys. Okay. Yes, it counts the space. Exactly. It counts the space. So it counts all the characters, including the space. So again, I said, the len is used to count the number of characters in your string, all right? Count the number of characters in your string. So what do we have? Equal to len A2. Remember, A2 is the name of the cell where the full name is, okay? So when you click on enter, it will give you the results, which is len. Finally, I'm going to trim, okay? But before I go to trim, in your own words, what is the len function used for? Write it in the comments. What is the len function used for? In your own words, what is the len functions? So I like this because I like to see people writing things in it's the English language. You can say the same thing in 5 different ways, and we all know that we're saying the same thing. Okay, so let's see, what is the len function used for? I can see count. Some people are saying calculate, which is fine. I mean, as long as it's making sense and it's aligning with what the len function is used for, then of course you're good to go. Great. All right, so thank you everyone for the responses. So let's quickly look at the trim function, which is the last. So we have done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's look at the trim function, which is the last. Now, the trim function removes white spaces. I mean space. Trim function, all right, removes white spaces or extra spaces. Removes extra spaces, sorry. So now, for you to be able to see the effect of the trim function, I would need to put more space here, right? And probably more space here. Okay, so you can see the effect of the trim function. So when I do trim, basically my name is supposed to be separated with just 1 space. Okay, that's what it's that is what is sensible and that is what is achievable. All right, but you can see that I have more than 1 space here. I have more than 1 space, right? I have more than 1 space. So what this trim function does is that it removes the extra spaces and leaves only that 1 space that I need. All right. And how do I use the trim function? I'll do equal to, like I always say, you write trim, you open a bracket, and then go and select the text that you want to trim. Click on it, and then close brackets, enter. So what do you see? the number of spaces between Oluwatoyin and Ademarati has reduced to what? 1, okay? So that is what the trim function is used for. The trim function is used to remove the extra spaces from your text or from a sentence. All right, so I'll go by it again. I said the trim function is used to remove extra spaces from a sentence or from a set of strings. So basically, normally what you have in English is that when you have a word, you separate each of that word or each of those words with, what is it called? With a single space, right? Oluwatoyin space, Ademarati. But in this case, I have made a mistake and I have multiple spacing inside this, okay? So I can use the trim function now to remove the extra space that I don't need, and then I will have only 1 space there, okay? So now, how do I do that? The same way I've been calling other functions, I'll just call the function equal to trim and then select the cell that I want to trim and then click on enter and I have it trimmed. Okay. All right. So now, having seen this, I want you to say it in your own words now. What is the trim function used for? What is the trim function? So I want to see your comments. The trim function, extra spaces from a sentence, from a set of characters. Great. Great, great, great. Sarah, I like that. She said space management. Thank you so much. I love that. Space management, because everything about life is management, right? You need to be able to manage your things very well. So space management, I love that. Sarah is showing me her teeth. Nice. All right, so space management. Thank you so much. Slim fitting spaces. Hey, God. Nice, slim fitting spaces. We don't want all those extra large spaces. Great. Thank you so much. All right, great. So now that you have seen all those functions, all these functions that you have, let's go back to the challenge that we had. And I'm not going to be doing it myself, or you all are going to be doing it. So get ready, get ready. All right, so far I've learned a lot of new things. Let me see your yes. I've learned. If you have not learned anything new, I want to see no. That means you know all these functions before now. If you have not learned anything new, let me see no. So all right, new, yeah, great. Okay, nothing. I think someone said they have not learned nothing new. Okay, so let's see. All right, great. Nice. All right, so let me go ahead and pick up the data sets. I want to go and pick up my own data sets. All right, so I'm going to pick up my own data sets. I'm going to download it right now. So please, if you have not downloaded the data set, go ahead and download it, because we are about to do the challenge, and that's like the main thing right now. So you have seen how to use right, left, mid, trim, find, search. So you're now going to use all those things to, please kindly mute your mic. Kindly mute your mic if you're not speaking to us. All right. So we're going to use all this to find, okay. So I'm opening mine in Excel now, which is this. Okay. So basically, let me increase the size so that we can all see. The first thing that we're doing, that we're going to look at is, let's go back to the question, all right? So again, so as to refresh your memory, what we had is we have part number, we have description, and we have drive. And like I said, part number consists of 3 parts, which is, first part is this 8L47, and that is the prefix, right? Then the second one, which is C8 to 6, is the base. And then the last part, which is the third part, is the suffix, right? So now the first question says that create a formula to extract prefix only from part number. Remember that you can only use the 7 functions that we have given before, which is right, left, mid, trim, find, search. Those are the functions that you can use in your formula. Only those 7. Only. I know if you know count if, fine, but don't use it here, okay? Those are the only ones that you can use. So the first thing we are doing is to find prefix. All right, prefix. So prefix is going to be what? This 8L47, the first 4 characters. So in the comments, write the function that I will use, or the formula, not function. Give me the complete formula that I will use. The complete formula that you believe that I will use. Fidel said equal to left AW. Where is AW coming from, Fidel's? Comma 4. A2, great. A2. Yeah, Feromi, you got 8. Yeah, okay, so I think we have enough Excel guru in the house already. Okay, nice, nice, nice. Yeah, all on fire. Hey, awesome. All right, so great. Yes, like a lot of us rightly said, I think this is the simplest of everything. We're just getting started. All right, like a lot of us said, we're going to use equal to, right? Equal to left. Then you open a bracket, select part number, which is A2, and then 4, because the first 4 characters, enter. So now we have for the first one, which is 8L47. Do I go again and write equal to left? Then I'll do again. A3, and then comma 4, then go. I can do that, but it's not efficient. If I have 1,000,000 rows, that's a lot of work. But good news, Excel has a very swift and smooth way that you can do that, okay? So now that I've written my formula here, I can apply the formula to every other thing. And there is a tool that you will use for that. It is called the fill handle. It is called the fill handle, all right? Like I said, it is not efficient for me to start writing the formula in all the cells. What if I have 1,000,000 rows? Of course, I have about 9 rows or 8 rows here. It's not much. I mean, I want to take the stress of writing everything. But if I have 1,000,000 rows, my brothers, my sister, that's not efficient. You will sleep here, okay? So you don't want to do that. Now that you have the formula in one cell, you can apply it to the other cells in this same column. And how do I do that? I'm going to use the fill handle, okay? So right now, you can see my cursor. Who can describe this cursor for me? So right now, I have the white cursor or the white cross with a black outline, right? Can we all see it? This is my cursor that is hovering around the cell. It's a white, it's a white cross with black outline. All right, can everyone see it? I want to see your yes if you can see it. So right now I have the white cross with black outline. Yep. Some people say they can't see it. Some people say they can't. Okay, great. I think a lot of us can see it. Yeah, great. Okay, that is what you have right now. Now, the fill handle, which is what we want to use to apply the formula, is a black cross with white outline. A black cross with black outline. But how do I see it? I need to move it to the bottom right corner of the cell. So can you see the black cross with white outline now? All right, so you need to move it to the bottom right corner of your cell. So I want to know if you can see the fill handle, which is the black cross with white outline. So that's the difference between the fill handle and your normal cursor in Excel. All right, so let me see what we have. All right, sure, they said sure, clearly seen, great, okay. So that I don't write my formula from start to finish for all the rows, which may likely mean that I will sleep on one task. All right, so what I want to do is that when I activate the fill handle, I will just double click on that particular position. So you just double click 1, 2. Double click. Let me do it again. All right, so this is the fill handle. Like you can see, it's different from the normal cursor. And I'm bringing my fill handle here. And then all I need to do is what? Double click on that fill handle. And then I have everything. So if you look at it from beginning to end, and the formula is changing. You see that here now, I have what? Left A3, 4, left A4, 4, left A5, 5, left A6, 6. What did I do? All right, left A6, 4, right? Again, and so on and so forth. So basically, you have brought in all the prefix. I don't know, is this amazing to you? You say, Oshe? All right, I think Excel is really interesting. And I know that a lot of people take it for granted. So, I mean, Excel, there is a lot to Excel that you don't even know about. So I think this is absolutely interesting. All right, great. Okay. Okay, so yeah. The next thing is that we are going to get the base, remember? Okay, so remember that the next task that we have at hand. So let me see what's that. Okay, create a formula to extract the base only from part number. All right, so the assumption now is that base is 7 characters. The base is 7 characters and is in the middle. Please take notes of the word base, or of the sentence base is 7 characters. All right, so we're going to find base. All right, so I want to see your formula. Remember that we're using those 7 functions. Those 7 functions, you can combine 2 of them, you can combine 3 of them, but you cannot use any function outside those 7 that you have. All right, so I want to see how do you get base? See, base is the middle characters, remember, after the first hyphen, the next set of characters before the second hyphen. So how would you get your base? I want to see in the comments. Great. I like this. It shows that people are thinking really fast. I'm waiting for more responses. Someone is saying 8267. All right, great. More response. 8264. Okay. All right. Great. 6767. All right, great. So let me give you my solution to this. And if you said it's mid, okay, so let me give you my solution. I don't want to discourage you guys now. All right. So we're going to use mid because we're trying to extract text or a set of characters from the middle. So it just makes sense. Based on the definition of mid, we're going to use mid. So we're doing equal to mid, right? Then you open brackets. Now, what text are we extracting from? We're extracting from what? Part number, all right? Then the next thing, you put your comma. Now, what else do we want? Start number. What is our start number? Our start number is what? This C here, all right? So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is what? C, right? Then I'm going to now say 6. And how many characters do I want? 7, and then I'll pass in 7 and then close and then enter. All right. So when I do that and I use my fill handle, click on it twice, I have all the other base number. I have all the other base numbers. All right. So my question to us now, I know that we have used mid. Okay? Please mute your mic if we are. Please mute your mic if you are not speaking to us. Thank you. That will be much appreciated. All right, so a lot of people have gone with this formula 8267, which is fine. But what if you do not know the position of this part number? I don't know the position of C here. It's a lot of text. I cannot start counting. There's a lot of text there. I can't start counting to go and find the C. What if I don't know the position of that C, or it's a lot of work counting the position of C? How can I find the position of C and then use a single formula to extract base? Let me see. What formula would you come up with? Let me see the formula that you will come up with. Let me see the formula that you will come up with. Yeah, I know, search function. But how will you use it together? So in a single formula now, you want to use search, you want to use mid. Add the functions together, and such that I have only just one function, and I'm not going to use the number 6 or one formula. I'm not going to use the number 6. So instead of this 6, I'm going to have a function there that will search for the position of this particular text or the first C. Anybody? I want to see your comments. I want to see how much we can think deeply, because at the end of the day, when you finish learning all the functions and everything, it's you and your brain. You have to think deeply, and that's what data analysts do. All right. So great. I can still see people saying search. All right. So that, okay, I think someone just dropped something. All right. So that we don't waste too much time. This is going to be called base 1, and this is going to be called base 2. All right. So in Excel, you can combine more than one function to actually achieve something. All right. So I can see that some people are saying that use search. Okay. So now the first thing is that I want to find the base number, but still I don't want to go through the stress of searching for the number. I want a function to do the search for me. So what am I going to do? I'm going to use the same function that I had before, equal to mid, open brackets. You're going to go and select the text, which is A2, right? Then comma. Now start num. Start num is what I don't know, okay? Start num is that part that I don't know, and I don't want to go through the stress of counting. So what do? Instead of counting, I will add a search function inside that will search for the position of C. Even better, right? It will search for the position of the dash. Okay, so what am I going to do? I'm going to first search for the position of the dash, because I know that dash is separating them. So I'm going to look for the position of that hyphen, search for hyphen, comma, within A2 again, right? Within A2, right now. Then the start num, you can write 1, but remember that I said that is optional when you're looking for what? The first character, okay? Then you close it. Now, remember that this search now is going to give you the position of dash, okay? And the position of dash is what? Is 5. But you are looking for the character after dash. So what do? You can now add 1 to this. So if this dash is giving you 5, when you add 1 to it, what do you have? 6. All right, so I'm now going to do what? Add 1, okay? I'm going to add 1, then which the last the last syntax, which is num characters or number of characters, is going to be 7, and then I'll close it and enter. All right. So now, even if I do not know the position of the C from the text, I can use my search to find the position. So this is how you can now combine functions with function to achieve this. So I gave you guys the opportunity to do it. I don't think anybody got the answer correctly. So Toyin, this makes sense. I think I know what you did. Okay. All right. Confusion, are you? All right, it's fine. Don't worry. Okay, so now I know that someone asked me that, what if, can I use C? But this is the danger of using C, okay? You can use C, but this is the danger of using C. What if the part number starts with D? Somehow, the part that you're looking at, the part number or the base of that part number starts with C or starts with D. In that case, you might not be able to now get the accurate position of that base or that base part, because what? You are looking for C instead of D. So it is risky to use C, but it has been established already that all the parts of the part number are separated with hyphen or with the dash, okay? So you are safer using dash and adding 1 to it. Does it make sense to you? You're safer. It's safer for you to use that dash because there is no how you write a part number based on the definition of part number that you will not separate it with dash. It is not possible. That is the standard of the organization in giving a number to each of the parts. So it's safer for you to use dash instead of using C. Do we get it? I don't know. Does anybody get it? Let me know. All right. Okay. So I'm going to go over this. All right. I'm going to go over this. So let me clear this formula and then go over it. Okay. So yeah, I'm just going to delete all this. All right. So remember that very straightforward. We said mid equal to A2 equal to mid A2, 6, and 7. And that is for what? Base 1. Now, base 2, we're still getting base, but the only difference is that, excuse me, we have said that, what if we don't want to go ahead and start counting the number, the position number of C? We don't want to go ahead to count the position number of C. How can we get the position number of C, which is what? 6. Already we know that it's 6. It's fine. But let's say the text is a very large one and it's not efficient for you to go and start counting. Remember, I always tell you about this counting thing, that one of the things you want to do is reduce the amount of work that you have to do. All right. So please, everyone, let's come back. I know you didn't get it and I'm going over it again. So please pay attention. All right. So now, instead of using 6 directly, I want to use another function inside the mid function, right, to find 6. Okay. So now we're going again. We have established that it's equal to mid. Okay. You open brackets. What is the first thing that we're putting? What is the first thing that we're putting? We're putting what? The cell number or the cell name that contains the text. Okay. Is that correct? What's the A2? Great. What is the first thing that we're putting? What is the first thing that we're putting? Which is the
cell
text?
number. The cell number.
Great. The cell number. Thank you. Which is what? A2. Please, if you are not speaking to us, mute your mics. Mute your mics. Thank you. All right. Now, what is the next thing that we're putting? What is the next thing that we're putting? I want responses in the chat box. What is the next thing that we're putting? We have put the cell number, which is A2. 6. But now we don't know this 6. Like the assumption now is that we don't have this. Please mute your mic if you are not talking to the class. Thank you. All right.
Sorry, Twin, you're muted.
Me, I think. Okay, can everyone hear me now? All right, so can everyone hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, great. Okay, so I said the next thing is that we're putting in search, and then you open the bracket again because this search is a function. All right, you open the bracket. What are we finding? Earlier on, someone said we should find C, and I said, what if the base starts with D? It will throw an error, right? Because it will give you the wrong results. So you don't want to use C, you want to use hyphen or the dash, because it is always sure that for every part number you have, the base will have a dash before it. Let's look at the part number again. You can see that what? Even if the C changes to D, the base will still have a dash in front of it, separating it from the prefix, right? So instead of using C, you want to use dash. So in this case, if you use C, it's going to be correct. But I'm saying now that what if someone goes ahead or there's a product that the part base starts with D? You don't want to now use C, because if you use C, it will not find that C, or it will not find the correct position. So I'm saying now that we're going to use dash instead of C, okay? So we put it here, and then we write, remember that I said every string that you have has to be, or every character that you're writing or text that you're writing in Excel should be in quotes. So you're going to put that dash in double quotes. Then text within is still what? A2, which is the set of characters, which is part number, where you're coming from. So you're going to put your A2 again. Then the start norm, you don't need to put anything inside, all right? So you close it. Now, remember that this search that we're doing is going to return the position of the dash. Is going to return the position of the dash, but we don't want the position of the dash. We want the position of the first character of the base. So, and how do we do that? If the position of dash is 5, what is the position of the next character? What is that going to be? I think I'm going to be waiting for a response. What is the position? So we have what? The dash. If the dash is 5, great. 5 plus 1 equal to 6. Great. So you want to add 1 plus 1. Great. Now, so you're going to do what? Plus 1 plus 1, right? And now you are done with start number. You have used search now to find start number. So you are putting function inside function, and which is very achievable in Excel. Now, number of characters is the last argument. And we said that the number of characters for the base number is what? 7. So we're going to put 7, right? And then close the bracket and then enter. So I hope that more people have gotten it now. Then we use the autofill and do to apply everything, and we still have the same result. So I got it, Tony. It makes sense now. Let me see your yes. I get it, pa. All right, Olusegun, that's nice. Yeah, great.
You say you're the one selling the program, correct? Yeah.
All right, so great. All right. So the next one that we're going to do is number 5, and we're going to have, which is what? The suffix only from part number. We're going to find the suffix only from part number. But before we do that, I want to know if we are all observant. So if you look at this particular part number, you will notice that there is a particular base that we didn't get everything. We didn't collect everything because the base is more than 7. Can anyone see it? There's a particular part number that the base is more than 7 characters. Can anyone see it? Anyone? Let me see if we can see it. Yes, cell A4. Cell A4. Cell A4. Thank you. So what it means is that even though the assumption earlier on was that most of the base number have 7, it means that base number can be more than 7, right? Base number can be more than 7. So let's look at that. What if the base number, in this case, like in cell A4, is more than 7? How do we extract base number? Now we can see that the standard that we had before was that it was 7 characters. How do we extract the next one? So now we can see that in some cases it's more than 7 characters. So what it means is that this formula that we have here might not work. Okay, so how do we extract if it has more than 7 characters? So I'm going to have base 3 here now. How do I extract that? How do I extract that? All right, anybody, any idea? Any idea? Any ideas? So can you give me the formula? Give me the formula. Give me the formula. No, don't give me using someone is a teacher. But you people already know how to use left, right, and all of that. So I want you to give you the short, right? Think about it. You have left, right, you have trim, you have come up with something. Okay, how do you go about it? Base. Are you saying that we have lazy? Okay, let me not say lazy data analyst. So are you guys okay? So I'm working on it. Tony, I'm still working on it. Tony, I'm still working on it. Let me see your yes. Tony, I'm actually doing it, but I've not yet come up with the solution. Let me see your yes in the chat box. All right, anyone that has to say, oh, Tony, I'm actually doing it, but I'm yet to come up with the solution. Let me see your yes. Okay, Shagun, my guy, you said he's on it. Great. Titus is thinking, all right. Okay. Learn A2, lost out. Okay. All right. So this is how I would do it. And I can tell you that it wasn't easy to come up with this because it actually requires deep thinking for you to be able to come up with this, right? Remember now that we're still working with mid because we're looking for something in the middle, right? But now we don't know, the problem now is that we don't know the number of characters that we have, all right? So we still have equal to mid, okay? The text is A2, right? But then start number, first thing is that we are going to be able to we can also find start number with that search that we did, which is by doing the same search that we did, right? We say search, open brackets, look for the hyphen, okay? Close it. Then the next thing is that within text, which is still A2, we have done this in the formal base 2, right? A2, then close brackets, and then +1. That is for what? The start number. Now, number of characters is where the major issue is, because we're saying that now the number of characters is varying, right? The number of characters can be 7. The number of characters can be 8. The number of characters can be 8. The number of characters can be 7. It can be 9. So that number of characters is where we have a challenge. Now, we can find the number of characters by doing what? By finding the position of the second dash. Remember that I said earlier that you can find the position of first T and last T. So we can find the position of the second dash and then subtract it from all the prefix that we have. Okay, so let's look at this now. What is the position of this? So for A2 now, everyone, what is the position of the second dash? For A2, everyone, please answer in the comments. What is the position of the second dash? Position number of the second dash. Let's count. Or you can use your function. All right. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. In this case now, the position of the second dash is 13. So let's write it down. We have 13. Somebody please write it down. Now, what is the position of the first dash? What is the position of the first dash? All right, the position of the first dash is what? Is 5. Now, 13 minus 5. 13 minus 5. Yes, 13 minus 5 is 8, right? Now, minus 1, put into account that the position is counting from, you are skipping this dash and you are starting from C, right? Remember that earlier we had to add 13 minus 5, guys. Now I'm seeing 7. Okay, 13 minus 5 is 8. Okay, so now minus 1, putting into account the fact that we'll skip that position, now is 7. So what I'm saying in essence is that you will need to, all right, great, Chinwe, I get it now, minus 1, 7, all right? So now, how did we find 13? We used the position of the second dash, okay, which is 13. And then we had to do what? We had to find the position of the first dash and then add and then subtract 1. So that means we're finding the position of the first dash minus the position of the second dash minus 1. So that is how we know the number of characters. So you will see that that 7 is the same thing as the number of characters in the middle. So before we implement it, does it make sense what we just said to find position? All right. So I've broken it down. So we know that 13 is, oh, makes sense. Okay, great. So we know that 13 is the position of the first dash and the second dash is 5, right? So 13 minus 5 is what? Is 8. But you're skipping remember that you're skipping the dash, all right, to the next one. So you subtract 1, which is what? Minus, which is minus 1, and that is 7. Please, someone is saying that the position of the second dash in A4 is 14. Let's count again. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It is 13. Please count again, okay? Count again. It is 13. All right. So now, based on all the formulas that I have, how do I find the position of the first dash? How do I find the position of the first dash? All right, so what do I do? I'll come here and say search, oh, sorry, the second dash now. Search, open bracket, okay? Then find text, which is what? Dash. I'm looking for dash, all right? Looking for dash, close it. Then within text is A2, remember. Now, start norm is where I will now beat the first dash, okay? Start norm is where I will beat the first dash. All right, so what do? I will say start norm, which is what? You can just look at it approximately. maybe like you can use start norm 7 or 8 or anything, as long as it is not up to the position of the second dash. Okay, so in this case I can use 7. All right. Then remember that I said minus the position of the first dash. So you're going to search again. Look at the minus sign that I wrote there. Okay, you search again, open brackets, the double quotes, the first dash, then close bracket. Then what's the text? A2. All right. And then you don't need a start norm, right? Because it's the first dash. And then remember that I said that you will now subtract 1. So all these things that you see here will make up what? The number of characters. And then you close the bracket. I know some people will be looking at it that what's Tony doing now? Tony has thrown us away. But just take it, let's take it one step at a time. Eh? All right, so please don't be confused. Let's come back. Remember that I said that this simply shows that for those of you that believe that Excel is very simple, Excel is more than you think it is. Oh, Excel is more than you think it is. So you can see that Excel is not very simple. There's some logical work, there's some deep thinking that you need to do. Okay, so we were able to establish earlier that the position, the number of characters is going to be the position of the first dash minus the position of the second dash minus 1. If you don't get that, I don't know what I can do, because I took time to explain that. All right. So I said the position of, so you may need to use the recording to catch up. So I said that the position of the number of characters is going to be the position of the second dash minus the position of the first dash and then minus 1. We all agreed on that. Okay. Now we are now implementing that. So this is the position of the first dash, which is search dash A2. Remember that I said that now this start norm is very important when you are looking for character that is not in the first position. We already have 1 dash in the first position, and that dash is afterwards is number 5. So what it means is that you can use 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on, as long as it is not before the second dash. So in this case now, we're using what? We're using 7, okay? We are using 7. Let's go back and see what we have. All right, so we're using 7. So now this will help us to find what? The position of the second dash. And then this second search now, remember that I said minus. So this is the minus sign here, okay? And I said minus the position of what? This first dash, which is dash, then A2 from the text, and then minus 1, okay? So now I'm closing the bracket, and then I will now say enter. All right, so let's apply this and see. So you can see that I have the extra 7 from the cell A4. So this is not just giving me only 7 characters, but even if my base is 10 characters, it will still give me 10. If my base is 20 characters, it will give me 20, as long as that hyphen is there. I don't know if we catch it and it makes sense. And I think this is very much interesting. No, be Juju. Yeah, the recording is available. The recording, the recording is available. All right. The recording is available. Don't worry, you can go through it and get it done. Okay, so because of time, we'll not be able to look at the middle question, which is the 4th question. We'll quickly go to the last question. Yes, we'll get the recording. Because of time, we'll quickly go to the last question. And the last question says that using the seat part description, please, the seat description, which is LHS, RHS, create a column or create a formula to extract only LHS or RHS text only, right? Only LHS or RHS. So basically what it means is that, sorry about that, just go over the recording and I think you will get it better, but I'm sure that some people got it, okay? So if you got the last one, let me see your yes. I got the last one. That last one that I just did, I think to an extent, I think I got what you did, Toyin. Let me see your yes in the chat box. Toyin, to an extent, let's see. Let's see. Okay, Felix, great. Oh, yeah. It's some formulas together. So just go over the recording and then you see. All right, so I can still see that some people got it. So yeah. So you get the recording and you can practice again. All right. So from this description, this one, we all need to do it because it's almost very simple. All right, so from this description, I want to extract from description that I have here now, this description column, I want to extract just RHS and LHS. So you can see that for A4 now, you have LHS in the middle. For A2 now, I have RHS in front at the beginning. And then for something like A7, I have RHS at the end. So now I want to extract RHS and LHS only from this set of characters. I want to see, what would you do? What would you do? What would you do to extract RHS and LHS? Write out the formula. So you can see that walk away. Right. Okay, Palumi, I think you're getting it. We're using right. Great. You're getting it. You're using find. All right. Okay, so if you use right, remember that your right will give you the last characters. But in this case, we still have RHS in the beginning, and we also have LHS in the middle. So what do you think? You have it in the middle, you have it in the left, you have it in the right. So how do you think we can go about this? All right, find. Olusegun, do you want to shed more light on this, your find? Combine all three. Okay. Right, A2, search. Okay. Right, left, right, mid. Nice. Search. All right. So let me try to point you all in the right direction a little bit. From this RHS, LHS that you have, what is the common characters? What do they have in common? I have LHS, I have RHS. What do these two things have in common? HS. I said LHS and RHS. What do they have in common? HS, thank you. All right, HS. Now, if I find the position of HS, can I find the position of R or L, as the case may be? If I find the position of HS, can I find the position of R or L? If I am able to search, great. So how do I do that? So let's say if the position of HS is 6, what is the position of R? What will be the position of R? If the position of HS is 6, what will be the position of R in RHS? Thank you, -1. You guys are impressing me. 6 minus 1, thank you. Okay, so now what it means is that if the position of HS is 6 and the position of R is 5, because 6 minus 1 is 5, don't you now think that I can use mid to find the next 3 characters starting from R, which is 5? So if I now print mid and I say mid for the text, and I say give me the next 3 characters after that R, or the position of R, don't you think that I have my RHS and my LHS? I don't know if you guys get it. All right, so I'm waiting for our response. So now that we've been able to find the position of R, remember that mid is equal to mid, right? Then we have the text that you're looking for, then the position of the first character, and then the number of characters. But let me want to cry. All right, so let's, yes, actually, that's what text manipulation, data manipulation is all about. Deep thinking, deep thinking. So really, I do not expect all of you to come up with the answer straight away, right? Because you're just learning about left, you're learning about right, you're learning about trim and so on for the first time, okay? So so it will require a lot of thinking. All right, so now let's implement this in Excel, which is LHS, RHS. Okay, so remember we said we're going to use the mid now. Mid, open brackets. The text we are extracting from is the part number, which is what? A2. Now, in this case, what is going to be the start norm? What is going to be the start norm? Anybody? So I have explained this to us. So what is going to be the start norm? How am I going to get the start norm? 6. I know you know the figure. 5. It's the correct answer is 5, especially in this case. I know you know the figure. But how will I find this? Remember, I started from HS and I said, let's go and look for HS, right? Then we subtract 1 from the position of HS. Is it making sense now? So now we're going to now go back and search for HS, all right? So search to find the position of HS, okay? Now, within which text? Within A2, right? Now that I've gotten the position of HS within H2, within A2, the next thing is, where do I start from? I can actually start from anywhere. It doesn't matter where I start from. Just give me the position of HS, right? Then you close bracket. Remember that I now said that to find the first character, the one which is the R, before that HS, you need to do what? You need to minus 1, okay? So now, we have found the position, not just the position of HS, but we have subtracted 1 to actually find the position of the R or the L. Remember that the HS starts with R or L, which is RHS, LHS. So we just moved a character before, which is what? LHS. So now the L is going to be the position of HS minus 1. And then the next thing we're going to put is number of characters, which is what? 3, because we're trying to get RHS, which is 3 characters, RHS or LHS, which is 3 characters, right? So number of characters I'm looking for is 3, and then I close it and then enter. Okay, so I have 2 arguments. Oh, I have double comma. All right, so enter this. So enter. All right, so let's see what we have here. Mid HS. Okay, search HS from A2, comma 1, sorry. Yep, and then enter. So it's giving us value error. I think there was probably something. Let's go over it again. So not sure what that is. Equal to, oh no, I was using A2 instead of description, sorry. All right, so I kept using A2 instead of description. So that is equal to mid, because we are extracting from description, not part number. That was what I skipped. So we are extracting from description and not part number, and that's B2, okay? So that was what we missed. So we are searching, all right? Search for HS in B2, right? Then subtract 1, right? And then look for 3 characters. You close brackets and then enter. So we have what? RHS. Okay? What did I just do to take it away? Again, so I'll do it again now. I'll do it again, right? I'm going to look for mid, and then the text is B2. Remember that we're using description and not part number. That was where I made a mistake earlier, all right? So we're using description and not part number, okay? And then the start num is now what we're now going to use that search to get, all right? Search. Then we're looking for HS, okay? Then after getting HS, the next thing is to search for HS inside B2, right? So we're looking for HS inside B2. You close the brackets, comma, then remember the RHS and LHS is 3 characters. Please remember to subtract 1 minus 1, right? Then 3 characters and then close brackets and then enter, all right? So once you're done, you apply the formula by autofilling and then you have your RHS, your LHS where it is necessary, and then your RHS in other cases. All right, so I understood this, or I get this. Yes, thank you, Adeyinka. I got it eventually. B2, thank you. So I get this. Let me see your yes in the chat board. I think it was a long ride, right? But complex. Okay. All right, great. I mean, it's a great relief that we all got this. All right. All right. So I would have loved to keep explaining and explaining until everyone gets it. But the recording is going to be made available and then you can go over that in your free time. All right. So you can go over that in your free time. You also get the slides, you get the link to the data sets. So yes, we're doing a lot. So you're going to also catch up on all these things with the recording. So I hope everyone had a nice time. Mohammed, we have time to take questions. I hope everyone had a nice time. I really did. I enjoyed myself, even though I know this before. And looking at it again, it's amazing how much effort, how much of deep thinking you need to put into some of these formulas or some of these things to be able to get it. So it's not just about, oh, I'm a data analyst. Can you reason deeply as well? I know formulas, I know functions. Can you also reason deeply as well? All right. Yeah, over to you, Emmanuel. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
All right, thank you very much for that, Tony. It was an absolutely amazing, learning experience. So I'm sure we all learned one or two things in today's session. So if you learned something in today's session, type a yes in the chat. So I can see thank you so much. I can see thank you so much. Yeah, Tony is an absolutely amazing professional to work with. Okay, yes, honestly, yes, fantastic. So I'm personally glad that you're able to learn one or two things from today's session. Okay, you're able to learn one or two things from today's session. Now, before I continue, okay, I was very jealous when Tony said, when she started the session, she said, who can remember, who knows my name or who remembers my name? So I would have asked us, to tell me what my name is again, but I know you can see it on the screen. So I'll ask you another question. Okay, I'll ask another question. All right, so are we ready? Are we ready for my question? Okay, just before I continue, I'll ask a question. Are we ready for my question? Yes, bring it on. Okay, so data analyst in the house, get ready. I'm about to ask my question. Now, who can remember the last 5 words? The last 5 words in the flyer for today's session. Okay, when you join the session, for those who joined early, this is where you get rewarded for joining early. So the last 5 words in the flyer for today's session. So I'll give just 10 seconds. So I came late. I came late. So I'll give 10 seconds. 10 seconds. All right, so a couple of us joined late. Okay. Okay, you don't want to give us gifts. Steal my brain for free. Ade Oshu, fantastic. Fantastic. So I'm sure Tony absolutely stole, our brains away with, what we learned today in Excel. And to be honest, this is just a tip of the iceberg of what you'll be learning, okay, as a data analyst, or what you need to know as a data analyst. So I'll continue. All right. So I'll continue. So confirm when you can see my screen. So can you see my screen? All right, fantastic. All right, fantastic. Now, when you learn these skills, what really happens is you become a global talent and you are able to function in the world's largest economies across the globe. For example, let's take a look at the UK. In the UK, the average salary for a data analyst is about £40,000 a year. £40,000. Not the highest, not the lowest, £40,000 straight off the bat. All right. Now, in the US, the the average salary for a data analyst is about 72,000 US dollars. 72,000 US dollars, the average salary per year for a data analyst. Okay. And these are from sources, reliable sources, read.co.uk. You can, also do your research, take a look at, what is being offered across these regions to data analysts, okay, on a yearly basis. Now, if you're in Canada, the average salary for a data analyst, is around 64,000 Canadian dollars. All right. Now, but what's your role? What's your day-to-day role as a data analyst? One of it is what, Toyin just showed us. You hear of ad hoc, data analysis. Oh, your line manager asks you, oh, Mohammed, I need so and so information from the data. Can you help me retrieve it? Now, you need to be able to manipulate. Okay, you need to be able to manipulate text. You need to be able to do some, other functions in Excel. Okay, to be able to do or to perform some of these day-to-day activities. Now, as a data analyst, what you're responsible for primarily is to drive decision making using data. Okay, you are going to be generating insights from data, right? You'll also be working with, several other professionals, across the tech ecosystem, from data engineers to business analysts to data scientists to, even, non-technical team members, right? So you'd be working, as somebody who drives decision making using data. Okay, so that's going to be your responsibility as a data analyst. But what is the roadmap? What's the pathway to becoming a data analyst? Now, we all know that we need Excel. Excel is one fundamental skill you need as a data analyst. But what exactly is the roadmap? Because that's what we stand for here at Analytics. Okay, we have the structured roadmap to guiding you from zero to being a globally recognized tech talent, in the space. Now, first of all, you need to learn problem solving techniques. Now, if I ask everybody on the call, do you know how to solve a problem? We would most likely say yes. Okay, we will most likely say yes, we know how to solve a problem. But how many of you have heard of the CRISP DM framework? How many of us have heard of the KDD? These are different techniques and frameworks, that you need to learn and to also learn how to apply them into solving problems. Okay, how do you break a large chunk of problem to, smaller bits to make it easy for you to solve a problem? What are the questions you need to ask to be able to understand what the pain point of the organization that you'll be working with as a data analyst is, in order to effectively, solve their problem using data. Now, once you've been able to learn problem solving, you move to Excel. Now, don't just show us a snippet of what Excel can do. All right. Now, it's not just Excel you're learning Excel for data analytics. Okay, Excel for data analytics. And that's the reason why when I asked earlier in today's session that, oh, how many of us have used Excel, or how many of us know how to use Excel? Most of us said yes, we've used Excel, right? But you'd agree with me that you've been able to see that Excel goes beyond, cells. It goes beyond rows and columns. Okay, how do you apply Excel or use Excel, to solve problems? Okay. Now, once you've learned Excel, you'd move another step, okay? You'd move another step. You'd go into learning SQL, right? You go into learning SQL. Now, SQL is SQL is a language that you use in extracting data from a database. All right. Now, SQL is a very, very fundamental skill you need as a data analyst. Okay, you'll be working with databases built by data engineers, and you want to go and retrieve the data you need to perform a certain analysis from that database. You need SQL to be able to communicate with the database to get the exact data you need to run your analysis. You know, skipping SQL in your data analytics journey is as good as not learning data analytics at all. Now, once you've finished with SQL, you move on to Power BI. Power BI is an amazing tool. Okay, there's what we call business intelligence. And Power BI is the number one tool for business intelligence. How do you automate processes? How do you automate your reports? Okay, reports that would ordinarily take 55 hours a week. How do you automate it in such a way that when new data comes in, you don't need to, run through the process of building the reports from scratch again. You just need to schedule your refresh, and then you have your report updated automatically. Power BI does that for you. Okay, Power BI absolutely does that for you. Very powerful tool, okay, built by Microsoft. Now, once you've learned this, you move to Tableau. Tableau is another visualization tool as well, a business intelligence tool also. But why have we combined, Tableau to and Power BI in our data analytics program? Now, you'd find across the market, you'd find out that we are one of the only training programs that offer both Power BI and Tableau, in the data analytics program. Okay, now when you learn Power BI as well as Tableau, what happens is you are able to apply to as many jobs as possible. Okay, as a data analyst, you're able to apply to as many jobs as possible. Some organizations, have preference for Power BI, others have preference for Tableau. Now, when you learn the two, okay, it puts you at, a pedestal, that projects you to prospective recruiters. Do you understand? So you are looked at as a global talent, a top tech talent, in the market. Now, once you've learned Power BI, you move on to learning what we call Microsoft Fabric and ChatGPT. Now, I'm sure a lot of you must have heard of ChatGPT. You may have even, played around with ChatGPT. But how many of us have heard of Microsoft Fabric? How many of us have heard of Microsoft Fabric? If you've heard of Microsoft Fabric, say yes in the chat. No. See, I can see a no. Ulushola, no. I want more responses, guys. No, definitely no. Okay, no. Yes, Taiwo says yes. So have you used Microsoft Fabric? Have you used Microsoft Fabric? So that's the question. What is Microsoft Fabric? Now, before I go into what Microsoft Fabric is, okay, and what you'll be learning, Microsoft Fabric, why is it part of the training program? Now, to stay relevant in the tech ecosystem, you need to be updated, with the latest technologies out there. Microsoft Fabric is, a new tool developed by Microsoft. Okay, developed by Microsoft, and it houses all your analytics solutions. So it's designed for enterprises. So you'll be working with organizations, who are using Microsoft Fabric, for collaboration, for data analytics, data science, data engineering. It houses all these analytics solutions in one place, and you can be able to move seamlessly between the different items. Okay, and how do you also leverage ChatGPT, to improve your productivity as a data analyst? Some of the times, you'll be working, and you may run out of ideas. And just like Tony mentioned earlier, you'll be doing a lot of thinking as a data analyst. Okay. So when you can leverage tools like ChatGPT, it improves your productivity. Tasks that will take you ordinarily 2 hours, even an hour, you can complete the task within a few minutes because you know how to leverage ChatGPT, how to ask the right question, to give you the desired outcome. Okay. Now, you'll be working on several projects in our training program. Is an absolutely immersive training program where you build, you present, you build, and you test your skill, throughout the training program. Okay, so you can see one of our participants, this is Muidin Adi, and you can, you get the slides at the end of the session, and you'll be able to go through these posts yourself. Okay, you'll be able to go through these posts yourself. Now you can see the amazing dashboard, Muidin has been able to build, and it's not just about the dashboard. Again, this dashboard is geared towards solving a specific problem, right? So you build a dashboard, even if the dashboard is very appealing, visually appealing, it actually solves the problem, which is the most important, thing as a data analyst that you would be doing. And you can see some other, fantastic dashboard solutions that our participants have been able to build by joining our program. Now, these people had little to no experience as to what data means. All right. And they've been able to build these amazing visuals. Okay. You can see this is an Excel dashboard built by one of our participants at the dark work during the training program. So you'll be in a class, just like, Toyin was taking us through the Excel process. Okay, so you'd be in a live session where you have a facilitator like myself, like Toyin, walking you through step by step in building this kind of dashboard from scratch. And there are more, in the slides. You get to see them when you get the slides at the end of today's session. All right. Now, the program itself is a 4-month learning journey. Again, it's an absolutely immersive training program. All right. So it's a 4-month learning journey. Okay. And of the 4 months, you'll be engaging in 3 months live classes. Okay. On a weekly basis, you'll be doing live classes for 3 months. Okay. Once that is completed, you get to do a capstone project at the end of your live classes where you test your skills, you put your skills to the test, okay, to solving real world case studies, just like, you'll be doing in class as well, all right? Because you'll be meeting with professionals in class whose day-to-day are what Toyin, has showed us, for example. And we'll be walking you through step by step how to solve this problem, so that when you get into the data world, when you get your first tech job, you hit the ground running. Okay, and that's because you worked on practical real life scenarios while you were on the program. Now, once you've done your capstone project, okay, you now get to do your 1-month growth internship. All right, your 1-month growth internship. And the idea behind the growth internship is to build your portfolio. Recruiters want to see, what have you done? What have you done, over the past few years? What solutions have you built? What problems have you solved? Okay, so the 1-month virtual internship, expands your portfolio. Okay, and these are the things, you put forward to recruiters. Okay, because recruiters want to see the social proof of what you've been doing. All right. So now the classes are in 2 time zones. Now, depending on your time zone, where you're located, if you're located in UK or you reside in the US or Canada, you have, times, your classes are scheduled in such a way that it fits your time zone. Okay, so you are not up at odd hours. For example, if you are in the UK, you're in Africa or Europe or Middle East, you'll be having your classes, you'll be having your classes 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time. Okay, you'll be having your classes 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time. Now, if you're located in the US, I beg your pardon, US, Canada, or America, your live classes will be 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Toronto Canadian time. All right. Now, you have these live classes on Saturdays. Then on Sundays, you have what we call your self-paced Watch Me Do It video. We call it the Watch Me Do It video. And this is a self-paced Watch Me Do It video, provided to you ahead of classes on Saturday to introduce you to new concepts. So when you come for classes on Saturdays, okay, when you come for your classes on Saturdays, you are not entirely new to the process. So you'd use the knowledge you've gained from your self-paced Watch Me Do It video, you'd apply it in solving a real-world scenario, with a facilitator like myself, like Toyin, and you'd see other facilitators, okay, that I'll be introducing to you as we go on. So you'll be doing that in class. So I can see some questions in the comments, okay, and I'll take them, as soon as I take a pause. I'll take all your questions, and some of them will even be answered, as I go on. All right. Now, you've learned the technical skills. You know Excel, Power BI, SQL, Tableau, ChatGPT, and Microsoft Fabric. How do you get a job? The question is, how do you land a job? Now, all the things I've mentioned, prior, are just 50% of what you need to get a job. Those are just the technical bits that I've mentioned. Now, what are the soft skills you need that actually land you that job at the end of the day? Okay. Now we have other, add-ons to the program, and these come at no extra cost. Okay. So these are your soft skill sessions that help you land the job. For example, we all know what a CV is. We definitely know what a CV is, but a CV is the paper representation of yourself, and many people do not know this. Your CV is the paper representation of yourself. Now, how do you structure your CV such that when you apply to jobs, you get the opportunity to interview with potential recruiters? Now, we help you review your CV. We have sessions that happen on a weekly basis. We help you, review your CV and structure it in a way that when you use the CV to apply to jobs, you stand a chance, a very good chance of, getting called for an interview. Now, there's what we call the ATS when you apply to jobs. Okay, the ATS is the application or applicant tracking system. Now, when you apply to jobs, okay, it's not a human that first of all, come in contact with your CV. Your CV passes through what we call the ATS. Okay, what we call the ATS, the applicant tracking system. And what the ATS is a machine, that looks through your CV and looks for, some specifics. Now, when your CV meets the requirements, it pushes it to the next step, and that's when you get called for an interview. Okay, so how do you structure your CV in such a way that it beats or it outsmarts the ATS? Again, we have the LinkedIn optimization session. We have LinkedIn optimization session. Now, LinkedIn is a platform, where recruiters, visit when, they look for tech talents. All right. Now, how do you optimize your LinkedIn profile such that it attracts potential recruiters? Okay. Now, when you optimize your LinkedIn profile, what happens is you start getting calls. A lot of our participants, have had that experience, and I'll be sharing some, testimonials, towards the end of today's session with you. Okay. Now, we help you optimize your LinkedIn profile from the profile, your display to the contents of your LinkedIn profile. Now, if a recruiter goes on LinkedIn and searches data analysts, how do we ensure or how do you ensure that your profile is one of the suggested, profiles to that potential recruiter? Okay, we help you do that, okay, in the training program. Now, you also have what we call your Upwork optimization session, okay, your Upwork optimization session. Now, Upwork is a platform for remote jobs, and this is one of the opportunities you get when, you get into the tech space. You become open to remote opportunities. You can work from the comfort of your home. You don't need to, go to the office before you get things done. And that's what I do. I work remotely, for the past 3 years now. I've worked remotely, as a data analyst from the comfort of my home. I've never had to go to the office. Okay, so the Upwork is a platform where you can get remote opportunities, especially in the US. All right. Now, how do you optimize your Upwork profile such that recruiters, find you very attractive? Okay. And how do you apply to jobs on Upwork? What is the strategy you need to apply to jobs, in such a way that lands you the role at the end of the day? Okay. So we'll take you through that process. Okay. And we also have what we call navigating the job market. Navigating the job market. Now, if you're located in the US or in the UK or in the Middle East or in Africa, now the way you navigate the job market, differs from one place to another. Okay, so you'd have professionals who would come to, walk you through navigating the job market in, depending on the location you are in. Okay, if you're in the UK and US and Canada, you're in Africa, how do you navigate the job market? Okay, so we'll walk you through that process as well. And then we also offer recommendations and reference letters. Now, this has been very pivotal in, most of our participants landing their first tech jobs, at the end of the day. Recruiters want to see, okay, who can, vouch for you and say, oh, I've worked with so and so, he's a good character. Okay, give him the job. All right. So you need recommendations and reference letters, and we offer it at no extra cost. Here at Analytics, and the recommendation letters and reference letters are so compelling, that it's actually facilitates, you landing that job at the end of the day. Okay, and most interestingly, and I'll talk about this, even more, job and interview preparation. Job and interview preparation. Now, you've applied to jobs, okay, and you've gotten called for an interview. We help you prepare for that interview by simulating a real interview, scenario where the questions you are likely going to be asked based on your CV and the job description, that you've applied to. We simulate, that environment, okay, in order to prepare you for the job interview. Myself and Toyin, we've prepared numerous participants, across several programs here at Analytics, and they have gone on to, get jobs. And I'll be sharing, that experience with you shortly. Now, finally, we have what we call the weekly mentorship sessions. Okay, the weekly mentorship sessions. Now, you apply to jobs, you get rejections. Who is there to guide you that, oh, this is what you're likely doing wrong. This is what you're doing wrong. Do it this way. Okay, who is there to motivate you, during your journey to becoming a data analyst? We are there. All right. And this happens on a weekly basis as well. So during the week, but I saw somebody in the chat saying, oh, classes do not hold during the week. Now we are aware of, the different demographics of people, our participants, and we try to structure, the program in such a way that, you get the best value out of it. So these are, programs that would happen during the week, right, on a weekly basis on Wednesday evenings. So you get your mentorship sessions where you have professionals, who you'll be seeing some of them, towards the end of my presentation. All right. So these are this is at the other 50%, the soft skills that you need to landing that first tech job. Okay. Now, some of the projects you'll be working with, and I won't dwell on this much, okay, because you get the slides, you'd see some of these projects, you can read the, the details, working on several real life case studies, that helps you build your skills, and build your portfolio as a data analyst. These are real world scenarios that you'll be working with in class. You have a professional like myself, like Tony, walk you through step by step, starting from scratch, from zero, with no prior experience, to building, projects yourself. All right. So there are still more projects, okay, that you will be working on. You can see them. You can see this particular project. This is a fundraising project, that is aimed at, improving the donations, and funding of a particular education, education, education firm. All right. Now, one of the opportunities you start as a tech talent, just like I mentioned earlier, is remote working. You can work from the comfort of your home. If you're in Africa, you can stay in Africa, in Nigeria, in Ghana, and earn in dollars and spend in your local currency. And trust me, we all see the news. We all see the news these past few days or even past few hours. And I'll tell you, and you would bear me witness that if you earn in dollars and spend in your local currency, you are on top of the world. Okay. And these are the opportunities that you stand when, you take our program and you finally become a data analyst. All right. Now you'll be working with top professionals in the space. Okay. We've seen Femena, the co-founder of Tenalytics. We've seen Adeza, that introduced, at the beginning of today's session. Okay, you also be working with Nene. Nene is a fantastic professional. She works with Zelos. Zelos is a Nike licensee in the UK, right? And she works with them as a commercial analyst. Okay, so these are the quality of facilitators, you'll be working with during your training program. You can see Nena. Nena is a product manager in the UK. You can see Obina, a data scientist in Canada. You can also see Sheung, a business analyst in the UK. And you can see all the other, facilitators that you will be working with, across your training program. Now, in the data analytics program, you'll be working with some specific facilitators. Be working with Adeza, the founder of Tenalytics. I spoke about Adeza, at the beginning of today's session, like I mentioned earlier. It has helped over 15,000 Africans, get jobs, okay? Get jobs in the tech ecosystem, all right? You'll also be working with Toyin. We also Toyin, okay? And we all agree that Toyin is a fantastic professional. You'll be working with her. She'll be walking you through, how to leverage Excel, Power BI, Tableau, SQL, in becoming a data analyst. Now, again, I can see your questions. I'll take your questions once I take a pause. All right. Now you'll be working with me. Okay. I introduced myself earlier. Right. You'll be working with Oladapo. Now, Oladapo works for one of the big fours. Okay. He's an absolutely fantastic facilitator. He has trained close to 2,000 people in advanced Excel, here at Tenalytics. Okay. And these are people that walk you through step by step, how to, become a data analyst. So I can see your comment, Adenka, in the chat box. Okay. I want to assume you're referring to Toyin as Mama T. So Toyin, you have a new name. You're Mama T. Maybe I'll start calling Toyin Mama T. All right. So fantastic for Adenka. Now, you'll also be working with Olugbemi. Olugbemi works as a business data analyst in Lodipo in Canada. Okay, so Olugbemi has trained, over 1,000 people, to become data analysts from having no prior experience. Okay, now, how do you get to join our next cohort starting on the 2nd of September. I have a lot of people in my DM asking me, Mohammed, you speak about this absolutely fantastic, training program. Is it free? Okay, is it free? And I tell them, no, it's not free. Okay, no, it is not free. Right now, the training program costs 320,000 naira if you are paying in naira, and £400 if you are paying in pounds. Okay, but we have a package, like I mentioned earlier, if we all remembered, we have a special offer currently running, okay, for this particular session. Okay, and what is that offer? Now, for the first 20 participants to register, okay, you'd get the opportunity to benefit from our discounted amount, right? From our discounted amount. Now, instead of paying £400, okay, instead of paying £400, you pay £300, okay, for the data analytics program, right? You pay £300, okay. And one thing that is also, amazing about this is that you can pay in 2 installments, okay. So you pay £200 to join the program, and then you pay £100 1 month after joining the program, okay. Now, if you're paying in naira, you pay, instead of 320,000 naira, you pay 270,000 naira. Okay. Now you can pay 180,000 naira to join the program. All right. And then you pay 90,000 naira 1 month after joining the program. Okay. So 180,000 naira to register and 90,000 naira 1 month after joining the program. Okay. Now, if you're paying in US dollars, you pay 400 US dollars. All right. 300 US dollars to register, and 100 US dollars 1 month after joining the program. You're paying in Canadian dollars. You pay 500 Canadian dollars. Okay. 350 Canadian dollars to register. All right. And then 150 Canadian dollars 1 month after the program, just like you have it down here. Okay. Now, if you're paying using your card, you can pay using PayPal, okay, from anywhere across the globe, okay. And you'd see some of my colleagues, putting in the links in the chat, and you also get access, to this material, to this slides at the end of the session, okay. So if you're paying for the full payment, you can click on this link, all right, and it takes you to the page where you make full payments, for the data analytics program. All right. If you're paying part payments, like I mentioned earlier, you can pay a certain amount to, join the program. Okay. And then you make your second payment at the end of 1 month after the training program. And you can see, my colleagues already dropping, the details, for you to make payments, wherever you are across the globe. All right. Now, if you want to make a transfer, okay, so you can make a transfer. If you're in the UK, you can make a transfer to our UK bank account, okay. And if you're in Nigeria, you can also make transfer, to our Fidelity Bank account, all right, using the information, here on my screen. And you also have it in the chat. So if you're wondering, okay, how can you keep track? You also have it in the chat. Go to the chat, you see my colleagues, putting in the information you need as per the payments. Okay. Now, if you can't pay in using any of the accounts, okay, you want to pay in Naira, for example, okay, you may not be able to pay, using PayPal. So you can use our Paystack link, okay? You can use our Paystack link, all right? So once you click on the link, it takes you to the page. I'll just click on the link now, okay? So it takes you, to the page where you can, make payments using your debit, or credit card, all right? Using your debit or credit card. Okay. Now, again, I see a lot of questions in the charts from what's the difference between data analytics and data science. Oh, I don't see Python in the program. Do we get a certificate at the end of the program? I'll touch on those questions in a minute. All right. Now you can also use this link, okay, to make payments. All right. You can use this link to make payments, okay, and then after making payments, you'd upload your proof of payment. Okay, you upload your proof of payment. All right, you upload your proof of payment. So when you click on this link, it's very intuitive. You'd see, how you can get to, upload your proof of payment. Okay. Right. So if you need to contact us, you can contact us using, the provided contacts, phone contacts on WhatsApp. You can also send us an email. Okay, you can send us an email. All right. Now, I'm moving to one of the most interesting parts, which is sharing testimonials. We have a lot of success stories, and we may not be able to exhaust all of them, in one call. All right. Now, Nathaniel, I like to talk about Nathaniel a lot, and the reason is because I personally prepared Nathaniel for this particular, job opportunity. Now, Nathaniel applied to jobs, and what we do, in our program is once you register, we urge you to begin to apply to jobs immediately. So you don't wait till when you complete the program to start to apply to jobs. Immediately after your Excel class, you begin to apply to jobs. Okay, so Nathaniel got a job. He joined our data analytics program, and he got an interview invite from Boehringer Ingelheim. Boehringer Ingelheim is the largest private pharmaceutical firm in the world. Okay, so he works with their branch at Spain, Barcelona, with close to 1,500, employees. Okay, so Nathaniel got this job interview, and I prepared him for the interview. Okay, and look at what he said here. He said, I used the method you taught me, and they were like, wow. I used the method you taught me, and they were like, wow. And you can see the emoji he used there. All right, you can see the emoji he used. So validating the fact that and the effectiveness of our, interview preparation session. So now I asked him, to make sure he sends a follow-up email thanking them for the opportunity to interview with them and reiterating the interest he has in the role. Okay, and these are strategies, that we give you here at Analytics, that facilitates you getting the job at the end of the day. And just a few days later, Nathaniel sent me a message saying, I got the job, man. Got a confirmation now. Thank you so much for your help. Thank you so much for your help. And I told him, this is absolutely fantastic, Nathan. Well done. I'm so happy. I'm as happy as you are. I'll give you a call as soon as I drop off my current meeting. So I was in the meeting at the time I received, the message from Nathaniel. Absolutely fantastic. So he got a job as a data analyst, in Boehringer Ingelheim. You can, read about, the company. It's a multinational company. Okay, so he works with their branch at Spain, just like I mentioned earlier. Okay, now Boehringer is another absolutely fantastic participant. All right, now Boehringer registered for our data analytics program, and you'd see what makes Boehringer special. Okay, now Adeza, you also Adeza. Okay, when I spoke about Adeza, earlier in this session. Now Adeza prepared Boehringer for this interview, and Boehringer also worked because Boehringer had multiple interviews, and sometimes you do have multiple interviews, leading you to leading you to the job at the end of the day. Okay, and bear in mind that Nathaniel and Boehringer had no prior knowledge as regards data, okay, before registering for our program. Okay, Adeza worked with Benga, Tony worked with Benga, a lot of other team members worked with Benga, in preparing him for, his interviews several times. And Benga, Benga, sent Adeza a message, okay, saying, I really want to say I appreciate this opportunity you gave to me. Okay. He got a job. He sent a message to Adeza saying, boss, I got the job. Okay. Boss, I got the job. Okay. And Adeza said, congratulations. Okay. And one interesting thing about Benga, again, when you look here, Benga said, additionally, I got 3 more offers. So in total, Benga had 4 offers. And obviously, Benga, looked at what was in store for him if he went for one offer over the other. And obviously, he went, for the best one, that fits his, interest. Okay, so Benga had 4 different offers. Okay, 4 different offers. And he said, I really want to appreciate this opportunity you gave me. And Adeza said, no, it's not we that gave you the opportunity. Okay, this is the pleasure is all mine. Congratulations for taking the leap and joining Tenalytics. So Benga could have decided, okay, I've been in, a master class, just like this. Benga was in a master class just like this. And then he decided to, opt for our program. And you can see what Benga, got out of it. So a lot of people talk about, investing in businesses. I want to invest in people. A lot of people miss out on investing in themselves. So as a tech talent, what you do, is, or what you'll be doing is investing in yourself. Okay. Join our program, you'll be investing a lot in yourself. Right. Now, this is Steven. Okay. Steven got a job as a junior data analyst with Access Group in the UK. Okay. After he joined, our data analytics program. You get the slides, you go into the details, you can read through the messages, that were exchanged between the facilitator and these, participants giving their testimonials. Okay, Wislin got a job with Shell in the UK as a sales analyst after joining our data analytics program. All right. Also, we have a Maker. Maker got a job with Western Union headquarters as a digital analyst, with them after joining our program. Okay. You have, many participants, like that. Okay. The list goes on and on. We have Olubemi. Olubemi, works with the Law Depot, Canada as a business data analyst. Okay. And you can watch and listen to, many of our participants share their, experience firsthand. Okay. Now, we have Usman Yusuf. He got a job with NHS in the UK as a BI officer, after registering and, taking our, our program. Okay. We also have Ubong. Ubong works with Cognizant as a full stack data scientist, after joining, our program. All right. We also have Idris Adebisi. Idris Adebisi works with Jaguar Land Rover. Okay. For those of us who know Range Rover. Okay, JLR, Jaguar Land Rover, the UK, are responsible for making that absolutely fantastic vehicle. Okay, so he got a job as a data engineer after registering, for one of our programs here at Tenalytics. Okay, and we also have many more testimonials. We have Abdul Rashid. Abdul Rashid works with Child 420, as a data scientist. And one amazing thing about Abdul Rashid is he works remotely, just like myself. He resides in Nigeria. Okay, he earns in dollars and spends in naira. And you can imagine, what that feels like. All right. Now we also have Victor Yeshino. Victor Yeshino. One thing that was interesting about Victor Yeshino was the fact that he was one of the participants, who started to, apply to jobs immediately after his Excel class. So even before he he started Power BI class. Victor was able to land this job with Hugo. Also works remotely. Hugo is in the US, Illinois. Okay. Victor works remotely as a people operations analyst. Okay. A HR analyst, if you want to call it that. Okay. People operations analyst for Hugo in the US, and he works remotely. He got that job after joining our HR analytics program. Okay. And again, he got the job just after his Excel class. All right. Now, so we have Maureen. Maureen also got a job, with Telos in Canada. Okay. We also have Thelma. Thelma got a job as a HR analyst in Birmingham, UK. Okay. After joining our program, we have Rufiat. Rufiat got a job as a business analyst, with Post Office in the UK after joining our business analysis program. Okay. And you can watch, them give firsthand their experience. Okay. Their experience with, analytics. Okay. So I want you to listen to Adebola. Okay. Listen to Adebola. Listen to Ifeoma. Okay. Listen to Miriam. Listen to Collins, share his experience. Okay. Listen to Mayowa. I want you to also listen to Sheila as well as Audrey. So listen to them, and you'd see what they have to say about joining our program. Okay. You get the slide at the end of the program, and then you'll be able to go through the details. Okay. And you have more participants, and you can listen to them, share their testimonial firsthand. Now, and our participants work across, the best of the best organizations across the world. Okay, from P&G to Post Office to Cognizant to Amazon, like I mentioned earlier. Okay. Now, the question is now to you. Are you ready to take that leap? Are you ready to take that leap? So at this point, I'll be taking a pause. Okay, I'll be taking a pause. So first of all, I'll be answering some of the questions, that were in the chat. But if you have questions for me, okay, if you have questions for me, I want you to use the raise hand icon. Okay, use the raise hand icon. I'll ask you to unmute, and then you can ask your questions. Okay, you can ask your questions. So, Michael, you can unmute and ask your question. I'll also pick some questions. You can drop your questions in the chat as well. I'll also, pick your questions from the chat. All right. So, Michael, go ahead, please. Okay, I'm not sure Michael can hear me, but I'll just pick some questions in the chat. So somebody's asking, Emmanuel is asking, is this a certification program? Yes, you get a certificate at the end of our training program. Okay, you'd get a certificate at the end of our training program. Okay, so Joan, if you're on the call, you can please activate the unmute. Okay, but I'll just take some questions in the chat. Okay, I'll take some questions in the chat. So, Michael, you can hold on.
Okay.
Okay, just hold on a bit, please. Let me just take this next question, and then I'll ask you to unmute. Sorry about that. All right. So, I can see what's the difference between the data science and the data analytics program. That's Michael. Okay. Now, in data analytics in general, you have 4 types, and this is important, guys. It's very important in making a decision. Do you want to join our data science program? Do you want to join, the data analytics program? Now, you must understand that there are 4 types of data analysis. Okay, in the data analytics world, you have 4 types of data analytics. Okay, you have the diagnostic analysis, that answers why did something happen. Okay, you have the descriptive analytics that answers questions on what happened. Okay, for example, you're working as a data analyst in an organization, and you're presented with a large chunk of data, and you're asked to summarize this data to answer questions. Okay, tell us what happened, from the beginning of the year to date. tell us what happened using the data. So this is what the descriptive analytics is all about. So I've mentioned two types of analytics now. And then on the other hand, you have two other types, which is the predictive analytics and the prescriptive analytics. Now, the predictive analytics is for you to answer a question on what may likely happen. Okay, what may likely happen in the future. Now, based on the data, what is going to likely happen? So you're going to be projecting into the future, and making recommendations and prescriptions, for the organizations, to put them in the best position against their competitors. So that's the difference between, and the data analytics, the data analyst, okay, is responsible for the diagnostic and the descriptive analytics. So the data analyst is predominantly, responsible for the diagnostic and descriptive analytics, while on the other hand, the data scientist is the one who is responsible, for projecting into the future, and thereby making proactive recommendations to the organizations to help them, put their best foot forward in terms of the competition out there in the market. So I can see somebody asking, you don't offer Python. We offer Python, but not in the data analytics program, but in the data science program. Okay, in the data science program. All right. So before I take more questions in the chat, Michael, you can unmute now. You can ask your question.
You've answered my question. I was the one that asked the difference.
Fantastic. Right, fantastic one. Okay, so I'll look at. So Adinka is asking, is AI a threat to data analysis in the long run? Now, if you looked at this particular slide, okay, when I was talking about what you'll be learning in the data analyst track. Now, I mentioned that one of the things you need, okay, to succeed and to stay ahead and stay relevant in the tech ecosystem, not just as a data analyst, is how you can leverage, the latest technologies that are available in the space. Okay, I spoke about ChatGPT and Microsoft Fabric. Now, ChatGPT, is an AI tool, okay, that helps you, be productive as a data analyst. Okay, now, what I tell people is, a lot of people are talking about AI. Now, if you don't understand what AI is, that's not an issue. AI is just, it's to simply put, you have computers that are intelligent, that help you, that can perform certain tasks without explicit instructions given to them. Okay, so now, is this a threat? I tell people it's not a threat. Now, it's the tech talent that does not apply AI to his or her day-to-day, that get replaced. Okay, so, and that's the reason why we've added, Fabric and ChatGPT to your training program. Okay, and this helps you stay ahead as regards the job market. Okay, so I hope that answers your question, Adeyinka. So, Emmanuel, before I take other questions, Emmanuel, you can unmute and ask your question.
Okay, good evening.
All right, good evening, Emmanuel.
I want to ask,
Yeah, I can hear you.
The attendance form, I'm seeing so many programs. I'm saying the career skill incubator, the full stack data science, business analysis, HR analytics, and financial analytics, data engineering, and so on. I want to ask, would they all be offered in if we make this payment, or is just one aspect of it that will be offered?
Okay, that's a very good question. Thank you for that, Emmanuel. Now, we offer, different programs. We offer the data analytics, data science, data engineering, the financial analytics, HR analytics, power platform engineering, as well. Now, these are different and distinct programs. Okay, so the program I'm currently talking about is the data analytics program. Okay, so it corresponds with the CSI, that you saw in the attendance. Okay, so in the data analytics program, okay, this is what you will be learning. Okay, you'll be learning problem-solving techniques. You'll be learning Excel. You'll be learning SQL, to extract data from a database, like I mentioned earlier. You'll be learning Power BI. Okay, you'll be learning Tableau, and you'll be learning Microsoft Fabric and Chat GPT as a data analyst. Okay, how do you leverage these tools as a data analyst? Okay, so there are distinct programs. You have the data analytics program where you'll be learning all these that I've mentioned. You have the data science program. Okay, data science program is what covers, Python, computer vision, and some of the other, things you'll be learning as regards to data science. That's another program. You have the data analytics program. Okay, you also have the Power Platform Engineering, which is one skill, that people are currently sleeping on. All right, but we are here today for the data analytics program, and that's why you see me, talking more about data analytics. Okay, so I hope that answers your question, Emmanuel.
Yes, thank you.
All right, fantastic. Okay, so I can see a question. Please explain. Abdul says, please explain data engineering and its costs. Thank you. All right, so I'll explain data engineering. So for the costs, you can look through our brochure. Okay, you have it in, I think John would send, the brochure, into the chat. You'll be able to go through that. Okay, but what's the data engineering program? So the data engineering, okay, how I explain it to people is this. Now, how many of us know what a plumber does? A plumber, okay? Abdul specifically. Do you know who a plumber is? You can just indicate yes in the chat. Abdul, do you know who a plumber is? Okay, I'm an engineer. So you're an engineer, fantastic. All right. Now, a plumber, you must have worked with a plumber before. These people that lay pipes. Now, you see, the data engineer is the plumber in the data ecosystem. Now, what do I mean? Remember, I mentioned you'll be learning SQL. You'll be learning SQL. Now, SQL is a warehouse, where your data is stored, just like your overhead tank. Okay. You have water stored in your overhead tank. Now, who is responsible for channeling the water into the apartment, into the building? Okay. So, who is responsible for laying those pipes? It's the data engineer. So, the data engineer is responsible for creating pipelines. We literally call them pipelines in the data space. You have what we call pipelines. So these pipelines make data available to data analysts, data scientists, across the organization. So the data engineer will be responsible for creating, databases and creating pipelines, making data readily available to professionals within the organization who need it for their own analysis. So I hope that answers your question, Abdul. Okay, so I can see Stephen. Stephen asks, right? And you can raise up your hand, I'll call you. Okay, but I'm currently picking up questions from the chat. Okay, so okay, I think Joan has answered Abdul. Okay, I mean Stephen. All right, Stephen asked, which course fits for someone with finance, admin, logistics, and warehousing inventory fields? Now, I'd have loved to ask you some specific questions, Stephen, but we also have clarity sessions, a one-on-one session where you get to you get to ask questions specific to the program you are interested in, or what background you're coming from. You ask questions pertaining to which program best suits you. Okay, so John has given you an idea. Okay, John has given you an idea, but we have clarity sessions where you get to ask these specific questions. Okay, so data analytics is what you really want to do. Yeah, it absolutely, it's something you can apply to your background from finance, from admin. Adeza, the founder of Analytics, came from, came from an admin background as well. Okay. So, I mean, we all made a switch. I'm an engineer, a mechanical engineer. Okay. So I made the switch from engineering to the tech ecosystem. So, and this is why we share, our experience with you, and the you stand a good chance, of getting that job. Okay. How do we get the recording of the session? Now you get the recording, after the session. Okay. So it's recorded on the cloud. It takes a few moments to get ready. So once it's ready, you get the recording. Okay. It's also going to be available on our YouTube channel. So do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Okay. So that you get a notification once any new video, is put in there. All right. Okay, so Michael, your hand is up once again.
Yes, from your definition of data analytics and data science, it means you need a knowledge of data analytics to solve the problem of data science. Does it mean that one needs to know data analytics if you are studying data science?
That's a very good question and a very good observation, Michael. Thank you so much for that question. Now, the program is designed for all our programs, from the data analytics to data science. Okay, you're going to literally start from what is data analysis. Okay, what is data? Start with. Okay, what is data science? If it's a data science program, that you the data science program that you register for. So we've had participants. Okay, we also have testimonials from some of our data science participants, who have gotten jobs as data scientists, after registering with our program. And these are people who had no prior knowledge. Now, first of all, is that commitment. Okay, that's commitment. And then the program is structured in a way that is very beginner friendly. Again, you start from the basics. For example, if you register for our data science program, you'd go through the basics of statistics, your mean median mode. Okay, we all know mean median mode, but we never knew how it was applied. Okay, you'd be seeing how mean median mode is applied and how it's a very important element in data science. So again, if data science is the program you want to register for, absolutely you are covered. You'll be working with professionals who are experienced, in the space, like myself, like Tony, like Adeza, like Efemena, who would walk you through step by step from zero to getting to the goal we want to achieve, which is becoming a data analyst or becoming a data scientist. So you necessarily don't need to have any prior knowledge of data analytics to register for the data science program. Okay. But if you want to take the data analytics program before taking the data science program, that's absolutely fine. It's all up to you. Okay. It's all up to you. But you can take the data science program if that's what you want to take. All right, so I hope that answers your question. So what is your YouTube handle? So just go to YouTube, type in Analytics, just the way you have it here. Okay, Analytics, 10 ALYTICS. Just type Analytics and you'd see our YouTube channel. On YouTube, you see all the videos, master classes like this that have been recorded in the past. You'd see myself, you see Adeza, you see Femena, okay, walk you through step by step, in landing a tech job. All right. So I have another question from Abdul. Are all the courses within same duration of 4 months? Okay, So the data analytics, is for 4 months. All right, it's for 4 months. You have the HR analytics also for 4 months. The data science takes a bit longer. Okay, it takes a bit longer. That's about 5 months. Okay, so the training itself for the data science program is 4 months, and then you have your 1 month virtual internship. Okay, just like you have it in the data analytics program. Okay, you have your 3 months live class. You have 3 months of live class, and then you have your you have your 1 month virtual internship, that makes it 4 months, where you get to build your portfolio, like I mentioned earlier. So I hope that answers your question, Abdul. All right. Okay. All right, fantastic. Okay. So any more questions? Someone learning data analytics with someone learning data science, they taught data analytics as well. So Michael, I think I just finished explaining, that part, attending to that particular question. Let me look for that. So, all right. So any more questions, please I'll take a couple of more questions before we finally call it a day. All right. Take a couple of more questions. And just like I mentioned, again, guys, we need to take advantage of the discount. Okay. It's just for, the first, 20 people to register. And I'll show you something. Let me show you something really quick. Okay. I'll show you something really quick. All right. Okay. Just a moment. So you'll be working with an online resource, that would help you during your journey. So we have the Google Classroom, and this is where all the materials, that you'll be using for our program, during the training program will be put in there. You can see CV review session that I spoke about. You can see the CV review session. You can see a CV template being provided. Okay. You can see the login details. So people actually hopped on that call, just like we are in this session, and you have a professional walk you through, that session. Okay. You can see the Power BI classes. Okay. So I'll just take you here. 51 students registered for this particular program, this data analytics program. Okay, and this is a particular time zone, the the EU, the Europe time zone. Okay, and you can see 51 students, registered for this program. Okay, and only 20 people, okay, benefited from the discount. Okay, so I tell people ask, oh, I can't start the program in August. Okay, would there be a discount? I mean, I can't start the program in September. Would there be a discount for October? And I tell people, a lot of things happen within a space of a month. Okay, what you're guaranteed for is September. Okay, the discount for September. So, and you can make payments, okay, and still push your class. You can decide to start in October, November, whenever you feel you'll be ready. But you need to take advantage of the discounts that is currently running. Only 20 people in this class, benefited from that discount. I'll take you to this class. Okay, let's see how many people. Here we have 44 people, who were in this particular class. Okay, 44 people who were in this particular class. Now, only 20 of them again, benefited from the discount, that was available. All right, and I'll take you to this class. Let's see how many people we had here. We had 89 students register for this particular, for this program. Okay, 89 people registered. Okay, and you can see only 20 people had the opportunity to benefit from the discount, like I mentioned earlier. Okay, so I tell people take advantage of the discounts currently running. Okay, prices change as time goes on, as the economy also, uh, dictates. Okay, so you want to take advantage of the discounts currently running, and that way you stand the best chance, getting the most value, okay, for what you paid. What's the demand of data analytics compared to data science? Now, this is a very popular question, Ezekiel. Okay, now the demand for data analytics and data science are not far apart. Okay, they are not far apart. Okay, there is currently a shortage of tech talents across the globe, and this is going to run as projected up until about 2030. There will still be not enough tech talents across the globe, and this is on the global front. Now, when you become a tech talent, on the global front, you're able to fixing into, the tech ecosystem easily, because these are skills that are high in demand. A lot of organizations are looking for professionals, and tech talents that can make sense of their data analysts, data scientists, or even some tech talents that can work with their already existing, team within the organization. Okay, so data analytics and data science are both high in demand skills and highly rewarding for that matter. Okay, so I hope that answers your question, Ezekiel. So any further discounts for group registration? If yes, what is the minimum group number? So Abdul, you have our contacts. Okay, so you can send a message to one of the emails. Okay, and we can have a discussion on groups. All right, we can have a discussion on group registration, so we can talk more about that. Okay, so do well to send us an email. You can send a message to this WhatsApp contacts. Okay. So as you can see on my screen, you can send a message. You get this material. Okay. So send a message to this WhatsApp contact, and then we can have a discussion. Again, I said we'll be having clarity sessions. Okay, and just as you received the login details for the session, you also be receiving an invite for that session. So you have questions concerning, oh, I'm of this background. I don't know which program, I want to go for. I'm tilted towards the data analytics, but I don't know if I should actually go for HR analytics or and so on and so forth. Okay, we have sessions where you have professionals like myself, within the team, answering questions specific to helping you getting started one of our programs. Okay. All right. Okay. So when you click on the link, you see, you'd see the different programs that we offer. You'd see the price tags for those different programs. Okay. Now the discount currently runs, for all the programs. Okay, currently runs for all the programs. So um, you can do well to make your registration. Okay, as soon as possible. So you can see my team members still putting in the details you need to make payments. Okay, and you also have the attendance form. So do well to fill in the attendance form. Okay, you'd enter in your email, and you'd receive the recording. You'd also receive the slides that we used for today's session. Okay. So if we have any other question, I'll just take one more question. Anybody who has any other question, you can raise your hand. Just one more question, and we'll call it a day. All right. All right. So I don't seem to have any more questions. Okay. So I'll be calling it a day on this note. All right. I'll be calling it a day on this note. So again, do well to register. Okay. You need to contact us for some more clarity. All right. Do do contact us. So can you arrange for physical internship? Okay. So currently we have virtual internship. Okay. And that's how your classes would run also. So you have a professional like myself, like Toyin, just the way Toyin was showing you how to leverage Excel, the call earlier. Okay, you have a professional in your life class walking you through step by step. Okay, so it's absolutely 100% virtual. Okay, and you also your internship, is also going to be in the same fashion. Okay, so you get projects on a weekly basis that you would determine what tool you would use to solve the problem. Okay, and then you go ahead, take on the problem, and you also get solutions to these problems. Okay, so you'll be able to um, you'll be able to yeah, you'll be able to compare what you've done to the solution provided. So how much Technopop 5P is asking, how much the discount price for data analytics. Okay, so I mentioned earlier that the price is 320,000 naira if you're paying in naira, okay, and £400 if you're paying in pounds. But we have a discount currently running, okay, for the first 20 participants on the call, okay, where the discounted price is £300, okay, £300 if you're paying in pounds, okay. You have 200 you can pay £200 to register. You can pay in two installments, £200 to register, and then £100 1 month into the training program. So let me just make that bold enough for you to see. All right. So like I was saying earlier, you pay £200 to register, and then you can pay £100, 1 month into the training program. So instead of paying 320,000 naira, you pay 270,000 naira, I beg your pardon. Okay. You pay 270,000 naira, 180,000 naira to register, and then 90,000 naira, 1 month into the training program. Okay. So I hope that answers your question. All right, so we are welcome to taking more questions. Okay, you can contact us, like I mentioned earlier. You get the materials we used, for today's session. Feel free to contact us, okay, on any question, any additional question you may have. So it was a very enjoyable session we had today. And I really appreciate those who waited on the call up to this point. Okay. So cheers, guys. Um, so let me see your comments just before we go. Let me see your comments. Did you enjoy today's session? Did you enjoy today's session? So cheers, Firdaus. Thank you for that. Michael, thank you. Adeyinka, thank you. Steven, fantastic. Okay, fantastic. Right. So we hope to see you in class. Okay, we hope to see you in class. Abdul, well done. Okay. So again, ensure you fill in the attendance. Okay. Ensure you fill in the attendance. All right. Okay, the video link, please. So you get the recording again. Just ensure you fill in the attendance. So my colleague has put in the attendance link again in the chat. So do well to fill it, and you definitely get these materials. Okay. Also, try as much as possible to visit our YouTube page. A lot of materials are there, that you can look through, and benefit from. Okay. Subscribe to our YouTube channel also, so that you don't miss any notification of any new video that is being posted. All right. So yeah, thank you very much, everyone. It was an absolutely fantastic session today. Cheers, guys.